wish I had pants for you. I don't have any.
He's thinking he's on a sunny island.
I just saw super low interest rates on Facebook. Maybe I can refinance my butter hot tub.
Yes on the butter, no on the link, Karen. Social media scams rob Americans every year. You're giving away your money to a hacker in a hoodie.
That's a negative stereotype, and we don't appreciate it. I'd like to speak to their manager.
You're actually the manager of protecting your identity. Learn more at banksneveraskthat.com.
Okay. Gary, we need more baguettes.
The best things in life are sweet and free, too, especially when they come from Chicago's own Sweet Mandy B's. Today, we're celebrating the iconic bakery's 20th birthday.
Happy
Look, a day over 10.
birthday! The bakery began at home with the owners baking desserts for friends and family, and then in 2002, Sweet Mandy B's opened its first storefront. They're known for their old-fashioned desserts, and they were nice enough to send us a bunch of them. Look at these cupcakes. This is what I've had when I've gone there, is these delicious cupcakes.
They look
right?
They're
Pretty, what do you guys have?
Sugar cookie with frosting. I also recommend the molasses cookie.
Oh, yes,
my goodness, it's so good.
Oh,
I have Oreo frosted brownie.
Okay, and then I'm not sure what this is. It says
Just dough it.
Just dough it.
That's
Look
the
at
chunky
this.
cookie
Look at
with
this, you
cookie
guys.
dough
There's
in
something.
the middle.
Oh.
Yeah, and I have a iced Rice Krispie treat that I'm not trading with anyone.
You like Rice Krispies, huh?
I do.
That's
I
perfect.
do.
Look at
I
this.
feel like you either
The
love them or
5-year-old
you
in me
hate them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No in between.
All my kids' birthday
Cute.
cakes.
This is where you get it
Sweet
from?
Mandy B's for years and years.
Yeah. Well,
it.
I tell you, we've been eating nonstop for today.
Yeah,
Oh, here we go.
Stop now.
Go tea. Let's see. Oh, how is it?
Sugar rush.
It's absolutely delicious.
She's gonna be ready for a nap
I
after
think
the show,
so.
I think.
We'll be right back. Wow, the newsroom's going to have fun today.
Isn't that putting the cart before the horse?
Yep.
You're not supposed to do that.
Nowadays, you have to, especially in the housing market, where you need to get a mortgage before you find the house. That's why with the Get Committed program from Compass Mortgage, you'll have a fully underwritten loan commitment that stands out even amongst cash offers. Not to mention, once you find the perfect home, you could close in as little as 15 days. Hey, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
You're pretty big on horse metaphors, huh?
Nay.
Hi, my name is Dr. Mike Nolan.
And I'm Dr. Chad Friend.
And we are
Nolan and Friend Dental Professionals.
We are restorative dentists practicing in Glenview and have been providing dental services in the North Shore area for over 60 years. We are a family-based practice providing care for all ages. We care for our patients as if they were family members. Our dental care that you will find here is warm, caring, and in a pleasant environment. Our team is highly trained and we will provide excellent customer service to you.
We provide our patients with comprehensive dental care. We are able to do this by meeting.
Before you know it, you'll know my name and how to pronounce it.
You'll know the meaning of ขอบคุณค่ะ
Before you know it, you'll call me son.
You call me daughter.
You call me brother.
You call us sisters. Your family will make a difference in how America is perceived and what America stands for. And we invite you to welcome and extend student-like community to your home and your family.
For over 70 years, AFS USA has brought exchange students from around the world to study in the U.S. and live with an American family for a school year, semester, or 6 to 12 weeks. Before you know it, you'll be a proud AFS host family. Visit afsusa.org.
Stop what you're doing. If your SBS broadcast looks blurry on your laptop or desktop, do the following steps. Number 1, click on the wheel icon at the bottom right of your screen. Then click on quality. Click on the highest quality that's available for you. And number 3, wait for your laptop to load and enjoy the broadcast. If your broadcast looks blurry on your phone or tablet, do the following steps. Number 1, click on the wheel icon located at the top right of your screen. Number 2, click on Advanced. And number 3, click on the highest quality available. If you're still having issues, type in the live chat. Thanks, and enjoy the game.
Hi, I'm Greg Schwarzy, your DuPage County Board Member in District 6, where I have lived, worked, and raised my family over the last 24 years. I'm running for re-election to continue the work I've already started on the DuPage County Board. Fighting for families, seniors, the environment, and equality for all. I've devoted my life to public service as a union firefighter and paramedic for over 28 years. I was a Carroll Stream Village trustee for 13 years and county board member since 2020. It's in these roles that I've seen firsthand the challenges our residents face on a daily basis, which I'm addressing in my work on the county board. As chair of the Human Services Committee, I helped implement a 24-hour 211 phone system for residents in need. I worked to secure millions of ARPA dollars to combat food insecurity, housing instability, and mental health and addiction issues. I increased funds and staffing for veterans assistance. As chair of the Emergency Telephone System Board, I procured new interoperable radios for every firefighter and police officer in DuPage County. On the HOPE Task Force, I secured funding for opioid education in middle schools and have been a strong supporter of Louis' Law. I've also successfully lobbied for a safety median on the Great Western Trail at County Farm Road to provide a safe haven for bicyclists and pedestrians. To learn more about my work on the county board, please visit my website at gregschwarzy.com. Please reach out anytime. I'm very blessed to be able to serve DuPage County.
I just saw super low interest rates on Facebook. Maybe I can refinance my butter hot tub.
Yes on the butter, no on the link, Karen. Social media scams rob Americans every year. You're giving away your money to a hacker in a hoodie.
That's a negative stereotype, and we don't appreciate it. I'd like to speak to their manager.
You're actually the manager of protecting your identity. Learn more at banksneveraskthat.com.
Okay. Gary, we need more baguettes.
People who come to Cricket, stay with Cricket.
I'm a farm manager, and I'm always here. My service is reliable thanks to Cricket.
Reliable service deserves a free 5G phone. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Hi, I'm Sean Rugstad, Caldwell Banker Realty. I'm out of the Glenview, Illinois office. I left Caldwell Banker a time of transition, thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. I was gone for 2 years and I realized right away I had made a mistake. I love the culture of Caldwell Banker. It's built around the agents. That's something that I felt I was missing before. They promote success by everybody working together. Everybody can network. Everything about the company is the best.
For over 60 years, Airroom has been creating award-winning kitchens carefully executed by our in-house team of designers and remodelers. With a renewed focus on spending quality time at home, Airroom has created its most affordable kitchen transformation program yet. Introducing the Revive Kitchen. Imagine custom-made cabinetry, quartz countertops with a waterfall-wrapped island, soft closed drawers featuring walnut interiors, even an invisible phone charging station in multiple colors, styles, and configurations designed to fit almost any home. Over 14 upgrades in all. Call the number on your screen to set up a free design consultation, which includes 3D color renderings of your project. This limited time introductory offer can be yours for as little as $4.99 a month with zero money down or zero interest and installed in as little as 3 weeks. The Revive Kitchen, with all the luxury and experience Airroom is known for.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Good, looking sharp in both crews. This is really an excellent race. St. Ignatius at that 34-35. You can hear the fans here. Loyola looking excellent as well. Here comes the Loyola Ramblers. Good, and we've got some open water there. Some open water between St. Ignatius and Loyola. We've got, maybe about a boat length open water here.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Every day, union concrete contractors are fueling a foundation that lets our city stand tall. They bring the tools, training, and know-how required to bring your commercial projects in on time and with the highest levels of safety. Visit concreteil.com today to browse Northern Illinois' top union contractors specializing in commercial concrete and find the contractors you need to get your job done right.
It's getting real windy real quick.
High school football at 7 o'clock. Good evening, everybody. Kyle Smith alongside Marshall Harris. It's West Chicago, the visiting team, taking on the home team, Elmwood Park Tigers. It is 6:56 p.m., which means it's about some time for some high school football. Marshall, they're 0-5, but what a way to get your first win of the season. Homecoming weekend, a West Chicago team that's looking for back-to-back postseason appearances. You can get your first win of the year on homecoming.
It wasn't that long ago that West Chicago was going through a 1-8 season, really struggling, really trying to get it together. Now they feel like they have a chance to do something that they don't say happens often for them, and that's finish the season with a winning record. They're off to a good start at 3-2, but you mentioned it. Really, for Elmwood Park, the story has simply been they've had trouble keeping guys on the field. They're maxed out at about 35 players. You're going to see a lot of two-way football in this game, and you're also going to see a lot of rushing on one side of the ball, a triple option attack coming on one way. Elmwood Park trying to answer that. They're going to put a six-man defensive front on the field, so don't look for a lot of guys back worried about the pass. It's about smash mouth football, and they're just lining up the bodies to try to slow down what's been happening for West Chicago and the Wildcats so far this season.
It's been an excellent West Chicago team, at least running the ball. The triple option, you're not going to see a lot of passes from Carter Naranjo this season. But Marshall, how about this for stats? In one game this year against Joliet Central, 63-8 victory, they broke the school record in rushing yards, 622. Everybody in that game had over 70 yards rushing.
And when you're putting up 600 yards rushing a game, it starts to make sense why when you look at the state rushing leaders, you've got not one but two players in the top 20 from the Wildcats. That would be the aforementioned Carter Naranjo. He's in the top 20 along with his running back, Robert Lee. And both these guys have been successful at not only moving the ball, but just controlling the clock as well, because, you know, if you can run the ball, you can control the football game.
Absolutely, partner. Well, for Elmwood Park, got to find a way to get West Chicago into long passing situations, obvious passing situations. For West Chicago, do what you did that got you to the postseason last year, first time since 2002, back when they were in 8A, now West Chicago's in 4A. Keep running the ball to Lee, keep running the ball with Naranjo on the quarterback keepers. They also have Doyle. They might run a couple play-action plays, try to get to Doyle down the sideline.
The issue for Elmwood Park has been just getting consistent offense. They've really had trouble keeping up with teams because, again, you get worn down when you're having to play on both sides of the ball for the entirety of a football game. That's been kind of the key. Last week, Jairus Ponce stepped up, had a bunch of catches, but that didn't always lead to successful drives ending in touchdowns, and that's going to be the goal here as we get ready for kickoff here, as receiving it to start the game will be West Chicago, as the home standing Elmwood Park Tigers will kick it off. Back to do so, Joshua Jeters kicking for the Tigers. Back to receive a couple of guys for West Chicago. It looks like it will be both Tommy Doyle. That's who they want to end up with the ball on this one. And coming up, pulling it in at the 23-yard line and running forward, getting a hole, finding some room, but almost down, now still free and loose, almost to midfield. Impressive return there by Tommy Doyle. He gets it down to the 48-yard line, so it'll be great starting position here for the Wildcats to start this game. Starting off on a good note.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice start for the Wildcats. It'll be triple option as they come out here, first and 10 at their own 48.
So the Wildcats now looking to get it together.
Chips, candy, drinks, and hot dogs.
Again.
And more. Go Tigers.
For the Wildcats, Carter Naranjo, he's the man under center. A chance here for him to set the tone for West Chicago. Again, 3-2 on the season. Looking to go to 4-2, and in the backfield, off the option, he'll keep it himself, looking to duck inside. Thinking about a pitch out, never had to do it. It's a pickup of about 3 on first down for Naranjo.
Yeah, Marshall, it's like we talked about. They're going to do those quarterback keepers a lot with Naranjo. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Quarterback keeper, then they're going to run it to Lee, then they're going to run it to Doyle, make them stack the box. They don't pass it a lot. Most passing attempts all year is 7, but they will do a couple of play action to Doyle.
I think 8 completions so far for Naranjo on the season, so that gives you an indication. They played 5 games. They're not even averaging 2 pass attempts per season. Now, it's Naranjo again. This time he gives it up to the lead back, Robert Lee. He'll get across nearly to the first down. Let's see where they mark it. Looks like it'll come up just short. So it'll be a third and one situation here. And so a chance for perhaps Elmwood Park, if they can get a stop, but getting a stop on 3rd and 1 with this particular offense, that's going to be a challenge, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an offense that loves to run. You're in an obvious running situation. Obviously not going to pass it here.
So man in motion, that was Doyle, the give to Robert Lee. He's got plenty of room, bounces to the outside and inside the 35-yard line, an easy first down. And and perhaps the third member of our crew, Hayden Bales, could have run through that hole.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice little push from the right guard. Football's a tough game, Marshall, but sometimes it can be simplified. When you get nice push from your right guard, it makes it a lot easier for your tailback.
So you see Robert Lee, fierce, looking strong in the early going. They're down inside the 35, a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 for Naranjo and company, and you can just watch that clock. It'll continue to tick, 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 because there won't be many incompletions coming, at least when West Chicago's on the field. Here, the give to Doyle inside. He's got room, busts through the secondary and into the end zone. It's a touchdown, and the scoring has started here, a 33-yard touchdown run for Tommy Doyle, and he had another gaping hole to run through, and he makes the Tigers pay.
Yeah, nice run over to Doyle. It was a misdirection play. Slow developing play, Marshall, but the good news is they're getting a lot of push from their offensive lineman. We talked about the right guard in Ali Nassib. That's a mismatch right now for Elmwood Park. They're going to have to stack the box and force Naranjo to pass.
So a quick 6-0 lead pending the extra point. It could be 7-0 here as on for the kick. And that is no good, coming up just short on the kick there.
Yep, David Weber with the missed kick. That makes it 6-0. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Wildcats against the Tigers here on SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
I just saw super low interest rates on Facebook. Maybe I can refinance my butter hot tub.
Yes on the butter, no on the link, Karen. Social media scams rob Americans every year. You're giving away your money to a hacker in a hoodie.
That's a negative stereotype, and we don't appreciate it. I'd like to speak to their manager.
You're actually the manager of protecting your identity. Learn more at banksneveraskthat.com.
Okay. Gary, we need more baguettes.
Welcome back. Kyle Smith alongside Marshall Harris. Marshall, nice drive by West Chicago right down the field with the triple option.
Really what we expected to see. Only had the 1 3rd down on that big drive, a 53-yard drive to start the game for West Chicago. And you can see why they've been so effective. It'll be interesting to see exactly what happens coming back the other way, back to receive the kick and pulling it in at about the 12-yard line and getting some room to bounce to the outside. He's got room on the sideline before being knocked out of bounds at around the 45-yard line there.
Yeah, nice run by Danny Dohoney. Get some good field position. No flags right now, and that's the start that Elmwood Park wants, obviously. They get it near the 40, but
we do have some laundry on the field. Okay. Way back inside the 25-yard line. I think this one's coming back.
Yeah, unless you've got Devin Hester or just a really good return man, when it takes him that long to get to the sideline.
Somebody's usually doing something illegal. It could be a hold. It could be a block in the back. Kickoffs, they're tough, especially at the high school level, because everyone's kind of out of sorts if they're not running like a highly oiled machine. And so as we watch these Tigers take the field again, it is homecoming here at Elmwood Park. So if any time you thought you might get a little bit of a jolt from the crowd, this would be it. It's been a rough start to the season, 0-5. Matthew Fritz and company, as he'll line up with a shotgun and a whistle. Looks like it might be an illegal procedure. And
nobody was moving. I doubt it was false start.
So
looks like they were trying to spot the ball, so no flag yet.
That's going to be against the defense.
Oh, wow. Offside?
Offside, I believe, is going to be the call.
It's a late call, partner. They didn't do the encroachment sign right away, so they must have just lined up offside.
Yeah, it looks like that was the case there. And certainly if you're a coach on that side of the field for the Wildcats, Adam Chavez cannot be happy as before his defense even gets a play in, they're looking at a 1st and 5 now.
Yep, they're going to place it at the 25. Still a long way to go.
And now they're moving it back. So
they changed their mind. They're going to go back.
So they're waving the flag off. Now the officials let them know the inadvertent flag.
Okay.
And it is going to be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 20.
Elmwood Park. So Elmwood Park trying to get things going. Man in motion. Jairus Ponce on the tag. They'll hand it off inside and brought down at the edge. Going nowhere is Jacob Solis.
Yeah, a couple of guys to greet him, and Marshall, it wasn't a friendly greeting. Leading the way on the tackle for the Wildcats, that was Emmanuel Lopez, and it's a big line up front led by Michael Jamez. They got to find a way to put points on the board, partner, if they're going to win tonight, and that's not a good way to start it.
So early on, you see a defense that's really been anchored down by Trevor Sweeney, who's the linebacker. Jaden Rosario, he's their sack leader, so look for him. That'd be number 36 in the white. 2nd down now and 11 after a loss of 1. Solis in motion now. Fritz looking to throw. He'll go to Solis, but misses him out in the flat.
Yeah, he missed him, and you got to be able to complete those passes if you're going to win football games. He was there, Marshall. He just wasn't able to get it to him.
So now a 3rd and long, just like that, quickly. Not only are they behind the chains, but facing a 3rd down and inside their own 20-yard line.
$50 at the band table.
Here's Fritz.
Show your support for your favorite player, cheerleader, bandmate.
See how they come out and what they draw up for this play. Certainly, if you are West Chicago, you're thinking about sending extra rushers on the quarterback. Now shift to the right, getting set. Fritz looking deep. He's got pressure coming, and he is wrapped up and pulled down. That's going to be that sack leader I told you about, Jaden Rosario, bringing him down for another big loss, and that will force a punt.
Yeah, it was Rosario. Yeah, Adriano Rivera was also in there on the pressure. That's on the quarterback, Marshall. You got to get the ball out quicker. 1,000, 2, 1,000. After 3, 1,000, get the ball out. Coverage sack for the Wildcats.
And we saw the 2 men shift to the right side. He had 2 men to the right side looking for them, but just could not pull the trigger in time. And now we've got a punting situation for
Elmwood Park. Nothing is guaranteed in the punting game in high school football. This could go over his head and into the end zone. In punt formation is Joshua Jetters.
Yeah, Joshua Jetters is back to punt. Looking for a late substitution to get that line anchored down on special teams. Back to receive is Tommy Doyle. And here's the kick. It was the snap was a little bit high, but it's up and loose. Calling for the fair catch is Doyle. He muffs it, looking for it and recovering it. That is recovered by Elmwood Park. So what amounts to a long completion on a muffed punt by Tommy Doyle, recovered by Elmwood Park.
So they're going to stop the clock at they're going to stop at 8:08. Recovered by Elmwood Park. Look, if your offense can't do it, your special teams and your defense got to make a play. Nice job by the special teams unit. Let's see what they can do here on offense to make up and pick up their special teams unit here.
And that was Danny Dohoney on the recovery for Elmwood Park. They'll now have a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Getting it to Solis, going nowhere fast. Quickly hunted down and brought down on the edge. They're just not able to turn that corner. That time it was David Weber bringing him down.
Yeah, it's an offensive line. They're struggling right now, and they got to find a way, maybe 2 tight end sets, anything to try to get past this defensive line, because right now it's instant penetration by the West Chicago defensive front.
For the Tigers, you know the old cliche, never look a gift horse in the mouth. Also, don't turn down a gift when it's given to you at midfield. 2nd down and 10 after a gain of nada. The handoff to Solis, looks to bounce outside. He will get positive yardage, but it's only a pickup of 2.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Marshall. They're doing a lot of B and C gap runs. I'd like to get them to do some A gap power, force that middle linebacker to cheat up a little bit, stack in the box, then go with the B and C gap. It's very easy to read right now from West Chicago's end.
I thought maybe play action, but really they just haven't had enough time to do anything. You saw how quickly they were on the quarterback, Fritz, on that first drive before the muff punt. Let's see what they dial up here. another 3rd and long, but it's more manageable than the 3rd and 11. They're looking at 3rd and 7 here from the 48-yard line.
So 3rd and 7, you would think a passing situation, but in high school, they don't like to punt that often. So if they get 4 more yards, they'll probably go for it.
So Fritz, after man in motion, looking to Solis, he'll keep it himself, ducking on the inside, coming on the inside, able to get it down to the 46-yard line. Not quite a 4-yard pickup. It's a pickup of 2.
Pickup of 2. Your offense hasn't done much thus far. West Chicago went right down the field, regardless of where West Chicago would get the ball on a punt. I think you go for it here, at least try to do the hard count to draw them offside, see if they get a first down. If not, do the hard count, call a timeout, then punt.
It's like you're in Terrence Terry's headset because the head coach has decided to, yes, go for it on a 4th and 5 situation. And now looking to the sideline to get the call in.
There was the hard count by Fritz. The other thing, too, is, Marshall, you don't have to call the timeout. You don't have to do what Eberflus did.
A little trickery right here. There might be enough, but no, brought down as Solis as he was trying to stretch it out. But that was snuffed out quickly by West Chicago, and Roman Zalato came up from the linebacker spot. It was a gain, but not enough for the first down. It will be a turnover on downs as West Chicago will take over at their own 43-yard line.
Yeah.
I like the trickeration, though. At least spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, they run Wildcat, and at the same time, Marshall, it's kind of like a pseudo quarterback keeper. It's a little trickeration, but not really. West Chicago not fooled. And here we go. Let's see if they can do rinse, lather, repeat what they did on the first drive.
Well, that's all they're going to be doing all night long. If I have any indication from what the resume says coming into the game, there will be a lot of runs here. We'll see the handoff here. No, it's going to be kept, and falling ahead for a pickup of about 8 right there is the quarterback, Carter Naranjo, and Naranjo looking good there. Another big gain, and when you're in 2nd and short, that opens up the playbook, but with a team like West Chicago, do you really need to open up the playbook?
You don't have to, partner. If they can't stop the run, you just keep running it. Not only can they not stop the run, everything's working. A gap, B gap, and C gap. Just keep doing what you've been doing all training camp and all season thus far.
We see Elmwood Park getting worn out so far upside, and a fumble picked up quickly, though, by Naranjo, able to scamper to the outside and get a first down before being wrapped up.
Down West Chicago.
Looks like that was Dahoney on the tackle there, Dirk Ulbrich on the tackle there.
That's some of the issues. When the quarterback fumbles the snap, it changes the rhythm of the play, and so the linebackers are going straight in to attack the quarterback. He picks it up, and the quarterback actually has time to roll out to the right because everybody's diving to recover that fumble. Big break for West Chicago, bad break for Elmwood Park.
So back again with that rushing attack, primed and ready to go. This time the pitch to the outside. It's Tommy Doyle. He's brought down, but not after. He picks up about 3 yards. Couple of guys. Harlan Stone in on that tackle.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. Thought they'd go with Robert Lee there, but Doyle has played a decent 3-person running attack for West Chicago this season. Yeah, a little bit surprising there. Robert Lee is the faster guy, but Doyle, he's given them positive running plays as well this season.
So only a pickup of 1, but I think the effort here is just to keep them honest. So now we're looking at another 2nd down and long. This is 2nd and 9. Naranjo, again with Lee in the backfield. This time it goes ahead to Lee, and he is bringing defenders downfield with him across the 35-yard line, inside to the 34-yard line for Robert Lee. It's a pickup. Looks like it might be enough for the first down. Let's see where they spot it, and they will move the chains on that. So Robert Lee with another big gainer. It's been a lot of 5+ yards and such for him.
From Mr. Swaniak. Proud of you, buddy. Keep fighting.
Under 4 minutes to play as the clock continues to run. A 6-0 lead here for West Chicago. They've had 1 possession. They got into the end zone on that before a missed extra point. And now once again, Naranjo, the fake, and it's more Robert Lee. Bring it to the outside. No one's going to catch him. It is a touchdown, 34 yards this time on the carry for Robert Lee, straight up the gut. And that time he was pretty much untouched. Guys saw him, but they just saw him running by. The 2nd touchdown of the night for the Wildcats. They're up 12-0, and let's see if they go for 2 or go for another extra point attempt. So again, West Chicago picking up where they have left off all season, and that is run, run, and then more run. Back again for another extra point attempt. This one's faked. Tommy Doyle to the outside, a sprint, and he will duck in and get in for the 2-point conversion. It's good. It's a 14-0 lead for West Chicago with 3:24 to play in the first quarter. We'll take a timeout. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Hi, I'm Greg Schwarzy, your DuPage County Board Member in District 6, where I have lived, worked, and raised my family over the last 24 years. I'm running for re-election to continue the work I've already started on the DuPage County Board. Fighting for families, seniors, the environment, and equality.
Welcome back. 14-0 lead for West Chicago. Marshall, we can do this broadcast because of Greg Schwarzy, excellent man that's running for DuPage County Board, seat number 6. Tell me a little bit more about Greg Schwarzy.
Well, tonight's game proudly brought to you by DuPage County Board member Greg Schwarzy. Greg has been a dedicated advocate for our community, working tirelessly to support local programs that benefit students, families, and schools. Let's give a big thanks for his continued commitment to making DuPage County a better place for all of us. So kickoff here, West Chicago, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, a missed extra point, but a converted 2-point conversion. This one is going to bounce, take a dive, picked up, and trying to go somewhere with it, but nothing much doing on the return for the Tigers here as he's brought down inside the 20-yard line. At least that's where they will mark it for Carter Naranjo.
Let's see how Elmwood Park can regroup. A lot of things happening for Elmwood Park and not many good things. They did get the fumble off the punt, but that's basically all they've been able to do. Right down the field twice for this West Chicago offense. Look, I'm rooting for the Wildcats. 20 years of no postseason football. They were the first team ever, Marshall, to win the high school football championship when they started in 1974. So it's a West Chicago team that's a proud history, but when they played in the old DuPage Valley Conference, had trouble competing with Naperville North, Naperville Central, new realignment for all the conferences, and now they're in the playoffs from last year going into this year.
Meanwhile, Elmwood Park trying to get something going again, tacking that edge, trying to bounce to the outside is Solis, but Jacob Solis brought down by a host of Wildcat defenders, led by Trevor Sweeney that time on the tackle. Several guys getting involved there. You just see a lot of white running into kind of a white cloud every time for these Tigers here in the early going. That was a pickup of 1 yard.
Yeah, dunk and dump and dives. That's the offense right now for Elmwood Park. It's 1-3 yards at a time. Look, you're not going to get big chunk plays all the time, but you'd like to see maybe a play action, a bootleg, get 20 yards or something to take the edge off this running attack.
Clock continues to run. We approach 2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 14-0. Wildcat lead. It is homecoming night, but making themselves at home has been West Chicago so far in this one. In motion is Solis in the backfield, dropping back, looking to pass. It's Fritz. He gets it and completes. Connects with Jarius Ponce, and Ponce with a pickup of about 5 on the play. That'll make it
number 6, Jarius Ponce.
a convenient 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. This is something now where you're just looking to see if they can convert. I liked what I saw in the passing play there. Quickly finding a receiver and, bringing it in on target. It's not a big gain, but it is a gain that makes this 3rd down somewhat workable.
Yeah, you get it out to your playmaker, see what it can do in open space. Good decision. Now 3rd and manageable for the Tigers.
Here's Fritz again. It's Solis in motion again in the backfield. Fritz looking to complete. That's off the hands of Denny Dahoney. Incomplete. He had a man for the first down, unable to convert. Now, would you go? You wouldn't go for it this deep in your own territory, would you?
I think you have to consider it, right? Because this defense can't stop a nosebleed right now.
That is true.
Find a way to put points on the board no matter how deep you are in your own territory.
So a defining moment here, even though it's only the first quarter, you're down 14-0. If you convert, hope stays alive. If you don't, you're looking at the possibility of a 21-0 deficit.
Right. Well, so you're also trying to get a first down to give your defense a much-needed rest.
So here's Fritz talking it over with his sideline. He'll take it, the quick hit, And it is complete. That is a first down, pulled down, but not until after he has the first down is Josh Jeters. And Fritz getting into a little bit of a rhythm here, completing 2 of his last 3 pass attempts. And finally, the Tigers move the chain.
Nice job. Look, on defense, you're going to give up some first downs. Bend but don't break. See if you can keep them out of the red zone here.
One of the hardest things to do in the game of football is to work without chunk plays to get a scoring drive going. It's very hard to hit third down after third down and convert and convert and convert. We'll see if they can get a chunk play or 2 along the way here. Here's Fritz. This time, the play action. Handing it off, missed tackle, and brought in, and now carrying it all the way down to a first down is Jarius Ponce. And Jarius Ponce looking good there and making one defender miss and another first down. And this is what we talked about, getting a 10-yard pickup as opposed to 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, it was a little drop-off pass. That was yards after catch, or as the kids say, yak. But you know what? He took a defender with him. Sure looks like he's been hitting the squats and hitting the bicep curls a little bit in the weight room.
So Fritz able to keep the chains moving here. A couple of first downs, stringing them together now. And we'll see if they go back to the running game anytime soon, if they'll try to attack with the pass, as we're now under a minute to play in the first quarter. This time it is a handoff and getting a little bit more room. He had a crack, but it's quickly closed up, was Jacob Solis. And Solis brought down after a pickup of 2 as the clock continues to wind, and we'll see if this will take them down to the end of the first quarter or not.
You got 20 seconds left. I personally would run one more play. Your defense is struggling a little bit. You'd like to get some more plays on offense to attack this West Chicago defense, see if they'll break, and maybe get a play action down the field on a fly route to end the quarter.
5 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Will they get it off? Waiting for it, in motion is Solis, and they just get it off. Quick hitch, and a nice job running after the catch again. This time it's Danny Dahoney, and they will end the first quarter with another first down. And that'll do it. After 1 here at Elmwood Park, the Tigers on the move, but they're down 14-0. You're watching SBS Football. It's a broadcasting network for everyone.
Yep, mute first.
So there's things in life.
Nope, other ones.
And free, too, especially when they come from Chicago's own sweet Amanda B's. Today, we're celebrating the iconic bakery's 20th birthday.
Happy
Look at day over 10.
birthday! The bakery began at home with the owners baking desserts for friends and family, and then in 2002, Sweet Mandy B's opened its first storefront. They're known for their old-fashioned desserts, and they were nice enough to send us a bunch of them. Look at these cupcakes. This is what I've had when I've gone there, is these delicious cupcakes.
They look
right?
They're pretty.
What do you guys have?
Sugar cookie with frosting. I also recommend the molasses cookie.
Oh, yes,
my
the best.
goodness, it's
That is
so
the
good.
best.
Oh,
And
I have Oreo frosted brownie.
Okay, and then I'm not sure what this is. It says
Just do it.
After it's West Chicago up 14-0 on the homecoming team, Elmwood Park, but the Tigers are on the move. Joining us now, a third member of our broadcast team, Hayden Bills on the sideline. Hayden, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Marshall. I was actually talking to the Elmwood athletic director at the beginning of the game, and he talked to me about the slow start this year. He said he's hoping for a good homecoming game tonight, but he did mention there's 4 seniors on this team. It's a younger quarterback, and this is their first season in the Upstate 8. So he thinks that this team can turn a corner and really start to compete down the line. It's just rough circumstances to start. And what I've noticed down here is that you can really see it at ground level. They're just a little bit faster over there, a little bit bigger on the West Chicago side, but they are competing on every snap, and the execution is actually really good.
So Elmwood Park showing some signs of life after what was a disastrous, to say the least, first quarter. Thank you so much, Hayden. We'll check in with you again later on. And Kyle, you look at the way this game has kind of, I don't say the momentum has shifted necessarily, but after a very dominant first couple of drives, which West Chicago was in charge of, now you see Elmwood Park slowly coming to life and moving the ball across midfield with a chance to at least cut that deficit in half.
Yeah, it's an Elmwood Park offense. Look, when you're 0-5, the old saying from Bill Parcells stands true the test of time. You are what your record says you are. There's a reason why they haven't won a football game yet, but you see some good things, some pitch and catch action from Jeters, from the quarterback in number 7. So let's see what this Elmwood Park offense can do. Even if you get 3 points here, anything but 0. Find a way to put points on the board and give your defense some confidence on the next possession.
You have to like the adjustments made by Terrence Terry for this drive after trying to run the ball and being on a proverbial treadmill. They've gone to the air, not afraid to toss the thing around. And here's Matthew Fritz now trying to keep it going. Let's see what they do. And go back to the ground, and penetration immediately in the form of Adriano Rivera as he got into the backfield. That's a loss of 3. They tried to get it to Solis, but Rivera was back there before Solis had time to even take a step.
Yeah, they're just not getting a lot of good push up front by their left guard and right guards, respectively. And because of that, Marshall, you got to consider opening up the playbook, screen passes, reverses, jet sweeps, anything to get the ball into your playmakers' hands quicker and get to the outside.
A good example of just how much this team has struggled with keeping guys on the field. Their left tackle, this is his first start. He's being brought up as a freshman, Angel Maldonado. So he's part of what they're hoping can be a solution up front. Now back in an obvious passing situation on second down, going up with it. That ball is tipped and caught. What a play! Brought down beautifully by Joshua Jeters, tipped by a defender, but he was able to concentrate, bring it in, and that is the chunk play we've been talking about, Kyle.
Look, they attack the secondary. Here it is on replay. Clean pocket. He goes downfield, up in the air, and then just somehow got it. Nice job by our videographer, Kevin Macy. But, yeah, they try to get it to Jeters. He gets the catch. And 1st and 10, but as Hal Carrollson say, don't stop now, boys. Get the ball in the end zone, make it 14-7.
You know, tip throws, you got to have those. Isaiah Sylvester got a hand on it, but it wasn't a white jersey, even though there were 2 of those, and just one in a dark jersey coming down with it. Joshua Jeters, a big play. Now, Fritz rolling out to his right, looking to get in. That one almost picked off. He definitely did not see Roman Zalato standing right there waiting for it. Could have been an interception, and if he had held on, there was nothing in front of him but green.
Playing the quarterback position, it's so difficult, right? You think you have man-to-man coverage, and at the last second, Zalata goes back into his zone look. Luckily for the quarterback in Fritz, he put it where the linebacker couldn't get it unless it was Fred Warner to one-hand grab it. But Zalata's not that good yet. He can be, but he's not good that yet.
Fritz trying to make something happen here on 2nd and 10, empty backfield. Looks like he'll keep it himself, trying to escape the pressure, but running him down and getting him out of bounds. That is Zalato again. It's a pickup of about 1.5 yards, and that'll create another 3rd and long situation. So they've done well just to get it down now into the red zone, but can they finish this drive off knowing what West Chicago has done when they've had possession?
Got to get at least 6 yards, you would think, to consider going for it. If you get 5 or less, I don't know his distance. I know it's kind of disheartening for this fan base to get the 3 when the offense is starting to click. Got to find a way to get some points on the board to lessen the pressure of your defense, but at least that's my opinion.
We'll see what Adrian Stankiewicz can do if they are forced into a kicking situation, but right now it's 3rd down and 9. The handoff, so it looks like they probably will be going for it. If you're going to run on 3rd and 9, that means you're probably going to go for it. And not getting much, if anything, on that carry was Solis.
You know what you could do, Marshall? I doubt they would do it. You have all 3 timeouts. You could do the hard count, try to draw them offside, then you get to a more manageable 4th and 3. I doubt they would do that, but 4th and 8, if you don't trust your field goal kicker, that's asking a lot out of your quarterback. Only a junior, by the way.
It looks like they are going to go for it. This is a 4th down situation, which is seems like there's a little desperation perhaps dripping here for Elmwood Park. They're down 14-0, and a flag is going to be called and a false start, and that's exactly what you did not want to see if you were Terrence Terry and the Tigers.
Remember, they're still kids, right? They're 16, 17, and 18 years old. When you try to run these complex ideas like what I'm saying, run the hard count, you got to have the personnel to be able to run it. I'm not saying that Elmwood Park doesn't have it, but it's a team that's struggling a little bit. They're 0-5 on the season. They tried to get cute with a hard count, and unfortunately, they tricked themselves.
Yeah, backfired on them. Now 4th and 14. They're at the 24-yard line, but they're still going for it. Letting it rip will be Matthew Fritz and company.
Video game football, you got to love it.
And maybe still trying to depend on that hard count, and now a timeout is taken.
Timeout, Tigers.
So the Tigers will take a timeout.
We'll stick with the action. We want to give a big thank you to Greg Schwarzy. He's one of our tonight's sponsors. Always been a strong supporter of youth athletics and education, ensuring our community's young people have opportunities to succeed both on and off the field. We appreciate his leadership and vision for a brighter future in DuPage County. So that was a timeout by Elmwood Park. We'll update it for you on the screen as they now have 2 timeouts remaining in the first half.
Now I'm wondering, did they call the timeout to bring the field goal unit on the field, or are they just trying to come up with that play that can get them 14 yards and keep this drive alive?
I think you just do a pooch punt here, 4th and 14. I know it's not analytically fun, right? The punts in the NFL and college level, you don't like to punt as much, but I think you got to try to push them in deep and see if your defense can get a stop, get the ball back with more friendly field position. You're asking a lot of your quarterback to try to convert on 4th and 14.
And the thing is, you talked about the rest that they needed. They certainly, with the time that they've consumed on this drive, taking a lot of time off the field. So the defense is semi-rested. I say semi because a lot of the guys you see on the field right now for Elmwood Park will still be on the field when they go back out there for defense. Now back to throw. Has a man wide open. Can he get to the first down marker? It's going to be close, trying to carry it ahead, and it is a first down for the Tigers. A gutsy call by Terrence Terry and company, delivered on time.
Right. That's why they're paid the big bucks, right? And I'm just the broadcaster. I would have done the pooch punt. You converted. It was a good play call.
Jairus Ponce hauls in a big first down, and now they've got 1st and goal from what looks like the 6-yard line.
Busted coverage there. I'm not sure what West Chicago is trying to do on defense. You would think you put your feet right at the first down marker, but look, conversions happen, right? The old Freddie Mitchell 4th and 26 play. It is part of football's history. Any kind of conversion can happen.
Perhaps Jairus Ponce taking his hands after that. The handoff to Solis, who's trying to get around the corner. Solis gets inside the 5, looks like out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. And so it'll be 2nd and goal. They are picking up yards on the ground, though, and now they're in a situation where they have some options as to what they can do offensively because they've moved the ball all the way down the field on this particular drive.
Yeah, nothing's really working in the A gap, so they're going B, C gap, and to the edge. You're at the 3-yard line. Me personally, I would do a quarterback keeper, the old Cam Newton or Tom Brady play. See if you can get a yard or 2 on the QB sneak.
So here's Fritz in the gun once again. Couple of flankers behind the line. He'll take it. He's looking for a hole, and he's going to have some daylight. Can he get there? Stopped at the last second. Just outside the goal line. I think he might have gotten inside the 1.
Yeah,
but a good job there on the stop.
Let's see,
I believe in on that
They're
play.
going to say at the 1. It's really past the 1. It's the half-yard line. 3rd and goal at the half.
Coming up making a big play that time was Thomas Murphy. And if he had just leaned forward, he would have had a touchdown, but Murphy was able to stick him there, as you said, at about the half-yard line.
That's the only issue. I don't really want to call it an issue, but those are kind of the cons of the spread offense. Slower developing play, right? When you go under center, you can just hand it off, possibly get to the goal line quicker on a shotgun. Takes a half more second to get to the goal line. And they're going to call it against the offense. Probably a legal shift.
And so that's going to come back. It'll be a 2nd and goal now from the 8-yard line.
Yeah, so
let's see if they run it again, or Fritz takes to the air. Back in that shotgun. Looking for a receiver. The old fade route in the back of the end zone, picking it up, and Jairus Ponce.
Look, when you're in Friday Night Drive in that newspaper, there's a reason. Jairus Ponce with a beautiful route. Touchdown, Tigers. Don't go anywhere, Marshall. We got ourselves a football game now.
So a beautiful catch in stride. That was a dime to the back of the end zone. Catching it in stride was Ponce. It's a 14-6 ball game. A chance now to make it a 14-7 ball game. Adrian Stegovitz.
Nothing's guaranteed in the kicking game of high school football.
Looking for the extra point. This will be the first extra point that's been converted in this game, and it is up and through, no problems there. A 14-7 game, and after West Chicago dominated the first quarter of this contest, the Wildcats haven't even seen the football yet. 14-7, West Chicago still in the lead. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
So mute first. There you go.
back here. We're back here at Elmwood Park where the Tigers have gotten on the board, cut the lead to 14-7. West Chicago, after a 14-0 start, looking good. Tonight's game made possible by Greg Schwarzy, DuPage County board member who continues to invest in the future of the youth. Greg believes that sports play an important role in developing leadership, teamwork, and perseverance in young people. Proud to have his support in keeping these programs alive and thriving in the community. So now we see what kind of answer West Chicago has and see if the success on offense breathes a little life into the Tiger defense. Back to receive here. And that's going to split the difference and go back, get picked up here by West Chicago, looking for the return and getting some daylight here on the move is Zalato, and he's got room to the outside. One man to beat. He'll spin to the inside, and he's going to return it all the way for a touchdown. You don't have to have an afro to know what to do with a pick. Run it back. Picking up blocks like a toddler in preschool. That's a big touchdown here for West Chicago, and one thing positive for the Tigers, they will not have to see, but I think there's some laundry on the field, so this one might be coming back.
You would think so, right? That was probably the longest return you're ever going to see in the history of high school football. The middle linebacker, also a kick returner on the play, taking it the distance. Usually when he scores a touchdown, probably a block in the back or a hold.
Well, it's not that it can't be done without laundry, but when it takes that long to return the ball, there's probably something going on in the middle that should not have been happening. Yeah. And a call was made against West Chicago. They'll still have decent field position, I should say, at their own 35-yard line to start. Let's see if the Tiger defense can stand up a little bit better against this powerful rushing attack. Again, Robert Lee in that backfield. It's been a lot of Carter Naranjo up and straight through the middle on first down for a big pickup. Looks like about 8 yards here.
8-yard gain in the play
for Lee.
Yeah, so it's going to be second and short coming up. Should be 2nd and 3, 2nd and 2.
Looks like a pickup of 8, so it will be 2nd and 2. And already back in the midfield area, and this is the power that Naranjo and company bring to the table. It looks like a false start, though, there on the left side.
Right, that's the issue when you are very tricky with your hard counts. You got to make sure that your left guard, your right guard, everybody else on your offensive line, they know it. Because if you run hard counts that your offensive line isn't familiar with, that's what can happen, false start.
2nd 2 becomes 2nd and 7 now for the Wildcats, who again lead at 14-7. Tigers finally getting on the board here in the second quarter. Now the handoff to Lee. He's tripped up, but not before he falls forward for a first down, a pickup of 8.
First down, Wildcats.
That's why he's a top 25 running backs, according to Sports Illustrated. Nothing very complicated what they did on offense, just a power run, A-gap style, and first down and 10 for the Wildcats.
So 14-7 now as the clock runs under 5 minutes to play here in the half. Steady diet, Robert Lee, Tommy Doyle, and of course the quarterback himself, Carter Naranjo. That's who we've seen do all of the action here in the early going. Another handoff to Lee, and he's just bruising forward at this point, taking black jerseys with him.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a way to get penetration on Naranjo. The triple option, we've covered a lot of St. Ignatius College Prep, who also runs the triple option. When you're on the defensive line and you get penetration, just hit the quarterback, because as long as it's a quick pitch or a quick handoff, that's still legal. It's not a passing offense, so in the triple option, the quarterback is susceptible to getting hit.
Here's Naranjo bringing his team up a 2nd down and about 4 to go here as they're inside the 50-yard line. This time Naranjo keeps it himself. He'll get the first down before being brought down.
Yep, it's near the 40. It's going to be Naranjo again on the carry.
That time brought down by Trinidad Lopez.
Yeah, one of the guys that Friday Night Drive was talking to before the season started. It's those 3 guys we're talking about, Ponce, Fritz, and Trinidad. And let's see what West Chicago can do on offense here. Another touchdown. It wouldn't be a backbreaker per se, but it would hurt for the confidence level of this Elmwood Park defense going into halftime.
Here, man in motion, looking for misdirection. It's there. It's Doyle to the left side, bounces to the outside. He's in a foot race to the pylon, and he'll get there. Touchdown, West Chicago. Wildcats have stretched the lead back up to 2 scores.
Touchdown, Wildcats.
Look, I've been wondering why they've been going to Doyle, but he's been a very good running back tonight.
It is a change of pace, and you saw the misdirection there on the 41-yard touchdown. And, you know, you're getting beat so hard inside by Naranjo, and then, of course, Lee, to have Doyle come with a misdirection to the outside. They were a step slow, and that's all they really need is a step ahead, and you're not catching them on the outside.
41 yards, by the way. Elmwood Park's not going to win football games if they're giving up these chunk plays. And look, nothing to feel bad about if you're Elmwood Park. This is the same West Chicago team that had 622 rushing yards against Joliet Central. But if you want to pick up that first win of the season, got to find a way to get rid of those chunk plays.
Here on the 2-point conversion is the toss this time to Thomas Murphy. He'll get into the end zone as he gets to the edge and just makes it to the pylon. So a 2-point conversion is good. Now 22-7, West Chicago with the lead with 3:32 to play here at Elmwood Park. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Hi, I'm Greg Schwarzy, your DuPage County Board Member in District 6, where I have lived, worked, and raised my family over the last 24 years. I'm running for re-election to continue the work I've already started on the DuPage County Board. Fighting for families, seniors, the environment, and equality for all. I've devoted my life to public service.
Kyle Smith alongside Marshall Harris. Kickoff coming up right now. Look, this Elmwood Park offense, they're going to have to put points on the board. It might have to be a shootout if they're going to get their first victory of the season.
So it's been impressive the way the Tigers were able to bounce back. A disappointing defensive drive for them that time, as more of the same for West Chicago. They really need to force something to happen. We saw the muff punt early that they were unable to take advantage of. They need another play like that, either defensively or special teams. It's hard to force a turnover, though, when the opposing team won't put the ball in the air. That kickoff goes out of bounds.
Penalty on the kickoff.
So a penalty there, and that'll be better field position here for Elmwood Park.
You saw some good things. The 3 guys that were talked about, Lopez, Ponce, and Fritz, they got to be difference makers tonight. They're their 3 best players. Fritz has been somewhat of one. Ponce, excellent catch in the back of the end zone. You'd love the 6, but if you can get 3, you're still only down 2 scores, and you can win it with a second touchdown. When you're down by 15, not only are you down by 2 scores at half, but you're also down by that 2-point conversion.
What they can't afford to do here is not use up this clock and give West Chicago another chance, another crack at a drive. Instead, down by 15 points here. Here's Fritz in the shotgun once again with Solis in the backfield. He gets it quickly to Dahoney. He's cutting back across, trying to get all the way across the field. He'll get positive yardage, take it all the way out to the 43-yard line. They're going to spot it actually at the 42. So a nice pickup. He just had to cover a lot of ground to get the 7 yards.
Yeah, that's the problem. They're not being able to get their blocks off, so they're forcing their running back to go to the opposite side of the field. Look, if he's got Darren Sproul's speed, I don't hate it, but as much as I love Danny Dohoney, I don't think he has Darren Sproul's speed.
Man, that's a tough comparison to put him up against one of the all-time greats, especially in the special teams game as far as a water bug speed. Fritz now with another opportunity. This time he'll hand it off to Solis. Solis bounces to the left side, trying to get to the first down marker, but short, so it'll be a 3rd and 1 situation as he's brought down.
Remember, if you don't get the first down, West Chicago's got all 3 timeouts. If you don't get the first, West Chicago's probably going to burn a timeout to get the ball back.
We are so proud of you.
Letting the clock run here as they get out to the 44. They've got basically 2 cracks at the yard, because if they don't get it, but it's, you know, a no gain, they'll go for it again, you would think.
Yeah, you got 2 more timeouts. I know we've referenced the hard count a lot on this broadcast, but the high school level hard counts are more commonplace than college in the NFL.
On the trips left, it's, again, Fritz. He'll keep it himself. He'll get that yard and more. Bounces to the outside, down the left sideline before safely taking it out of bounds just inside the 40-yard line. A big first down pickup there. That'll stop the clock with 2:06 to play, and now they're feeling good about themselves. A chance to make this a 1-score game before half.
Look, I love that Fritz got out of bounds and not take an unnecessary hit. But remember, Fritz, clock stops out of first. If you go down the sideline for 5 more yards, Clock stops. You gotta remember that. Try to tightrope that sideline to get more yardage.
With 2:06 to play, it will be interesting to see if Fritz now tries to go vertical a little bit with the passes. We've seen a lot of horizontal action so far and a lot of things on the inside. Let's see what Fritz does here. The quick pass ahead. It's Joshua Jeters. Pick of about 5 there, as that'll stay in bounds, and the clock will continue to run now. Under 2 minutes to play, so approach the 1.5-minute mark. So 100 seconds left here in the first half, and no timeout being called, so they'll let the clock run.
Yeah, I'm surprised West Chicago isn't calling a timeout there, not just to stop the clock, but maybe give their defense a little bit of a breather.
This has been a bigger workout than they've had pretty much all game long on the defensive side of the ball. These back-to-back drives here for Elmwood Park. Now throwing it up, looking for a fade. Held up a little bit, but not there on the timing was Ponce. Good job defensively that time by Isaiah Sylvester.
Yeah, red all the way. I'm kind of surprised by that, Marshall. I'd like to see a comeback route. Try to get some separation from the defensive back and come back to the football. Remember, clock stops on a first. You don't need to get 15-plus yards. I know I've talked about the chunk plays, but in the 2-minute drill, first downs are okay. Stop the clock and spike the ball if you have to.
So now you got a third and a long 5 to go here with 1:17 to play. It's Fritz once again. This time throwing it up, looking for his man, but just overthrowing that time Joshua Jeters, who he had open on the sideline, but unable to connect.
Yeah, just missed him. 4th and 5 coming up.
Looks like a personal foul. I think it's going to be.
It's on the Tigers.
It's on the Tigers. So that's a huge play there.
Penalty against the Tigers.
Remember, it's not loss of down unless it was after the play.
Let's see how far they will mark that back. It's going to be the equivalent of, I don't want to say a Hail Mary ball, but you definitely don't want to give West Chicago the ball at midfield with 1:12 to play, as you mentioned, all of their timeouts.
Well, if it's 4th down, let's see. They haven't changed it on the Jumbotron yet, and they're waiting to the offense for Elmwood Park, because that's big. If it's 3rd down, that means Elmwood Park would have to burn a timeout before 4th. That's why we have to. So it is after the play. So they're going to call unsportsmanlike after the play, which should mean 15 yards, 4th down. They put the fist up, so 4th down coming up. That's huge, Marshall. 15 yards back and the loss of down.
So we're looking right now at a 4th down and 20, now backed up into their own territory, or just inside the 50, I should say, are the Tigers. And I will be interested to see what the call's going to be here. Terrence Terry, the head coach, we see him right in front of us, talking it out, claps his team on. And they're going to go for it. What do they have to lose, you ask? Well, if they turn it over here, West Chicago is going to have a chance.
Yeah.
So here's Fritz in the shotgun, maybe looking to get 5 yards on a hard count. They can afford to take the delayed game penalty as well. And a timeout's going to be taken here by the Tigers.
A little bit surprised by that, Marshall. You know, as a football coach, you're darned if you do, darned if you don't, right? We always wonder, well, why don't you just take the delay game? You give your punter more space to punt the ball. Well, if you've been struggling on the snaps, remember they almost fumbled a snap on their last punt. So the 5 yards of spacing for your punter, unless they like to run rugby-style punts.
We are so proud of you.
Where they're going to run out to the outside and let it fly. But that's not the case here. If you're Terrence Terry, they have to be proud of the way, not necessarily this game started, but the way they responded after being down 14-0.
They've had their chances, right? They recovered the ball on the fumbled punt. They just couldn't capitalize on it. It's an 0-5 team, but if they lost their last 4 games, it doesn't feel like an 0-9 team.
Right.
There are some building blocks for next season.
There's still a half to play here. Homecoming night at Elmwood Park. West Chicago trying to improve to 4-2 on the season. They have literally run all over the Tigers so far tonight. They've been very successful with that rushing attack.
As Hayden Bales will join us after this punt. 22-7 in favor of the Wildcats.
Now official talking with the head coach, Terrence Terry, explaining, I think, what he's talking about with the personal foul perhaps. And having a long discussion here.
Well, since we have a discussion, here's Hayden Bales for an in-game report.
And now they'll They'll blow this play live now with a minute 12 to play on 4th and 20. Get to Hayden in just a moment, but first Fritz looks like they're going to go for it. On 4th and 20, dropping back, has some pressure coming. He'll have to roll to his right, looking deep. He'll try to carry it himself, and he's going to run out of room, but he will run it down for a 10-yard pickup inside the 40 and out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Now Hayden Bales will come and talk to us after that turnover on downs. Hayden, what do you have for us?
Well, I just wanted to say that I was over there on the West Chicago sideline after that last touchdown by Elmwood, and they were a little surprised by it, honestly. You could tell they were kind of like, okay, had to reset, but the momentum came right back after that kickoff, even though they didn't score there. There was a back and forth quarter here, but they're getting pumped for little things like tackles over there. So the West Chicago sideline is still doing really well. And don't think just because they're up by 2 scores that there's not a lot of coaching going on over there.
All right, thank you so much, Hayden. Now a minute 5 left. Again, West Chicago with all 5 of his timeouts. And now to the air they go. Wide open. And looking to make something happen is Tommy Doyle. He gets it. That's a chunk play through the air, and we wondered if we would see it on this 2-minute drill. And quickly, we see West Chicago and Carter Naranjo go to the air, and he shows, yes, I do have an arm to go with these legs.
Yeah, look, Doyle, he's been the player of the game for West Chicago, right? The run to the outside for the touchdown, then the completion. West Chicago, if they can pass the ball, Marshall, this is a team that could make some noise in the postseason.
Well, now 40 seconds and counting remaining, looking to get it to Robert Lee. He gets on the inside, looking to carry it down. Let's see if they use a timeout here. And I believe they will. First down picked up, so 32 seconds left here in the first half after an 8-yard gain for Robert Lee.
Look, Robert Lee, he hasn't been that impressive tonight, but every time it's an A-gap power run, he gets the job done.
Oh, it's not 2 yards. It's not 3 or 4. He's going to get you 7+ every time.
Right, yeah. Look, Doyle's probably been the player of the game, but let's not forget about Robert Lee. He's been great as well, Naranjo. It's a 3-headed attack, and when the 2-headed attack becomes a 3-headed attack, watch out everybody else in Class 4A.
You know what it's like? It's like when you get that good sandwich with the extra cheese, and then Doyle's just like the ranch. If you want to dip that sandwich in a little ranch.
Are you more of a ranch than a Hellman's mayonnaise guy?
Absolutely.
You are? Okay.
Do not bring the Hellmann's around me. I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
All right. Hopefully Jimmy John's won't be our sponsor next week.
Look, more for you. Well, when I go to Jimmy John's, I just get the mustard.
The mustard's good.
Just not a mayo guy. Kyle, I'm just not a mayo guy.
Oh, that's all right. It's not for everybody. Will Levis is his own guy.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Maybe a little less mayo in his diet will cause a little less mayo, a little less turnovers.
Right,
for him. Now we've got Robert Lee in the backfield, in motion, misdirection. It's Doyle again, this time inside the right side, all the way into the red zone, down at the 12-yard line, 25 seconds, and the second timeout being called here by Adam Chavez and West Chicago.
Marshall, sometimes football can be a simplified game, right? Slow developing plays for both teams, but when West Chicago runs them, they're able to get chunk yards like they did there.
I thought that was going to be a timeout, but instead they say play on. Now off the play action, it's Naranjo rolling to his left, looking to make something happen, trying to shake a defender, but brought down at the 6-yard line with 5 seconds to play in the first half, and now a timeout will be taken by the Wildcats. Very surprised that they didn't use their second timeout on the play before.
Yeah, you'd like to see Naranjo either get to the sideline or do a quarterback slide to preserve some seconds. Look, if it was 8 seconds, you would have time for one more throw to the end zone. It's an offense that doesn't love to pass the ball, though. So even though you'd have 8 seconds left to do a passing play to the end zone, 8-5 for a triple option offense doesn't matter as much to a spread offense.
So 22-7. Take this in mind. The Wildcats had the ball to start this game, so Elmwood Park will get it to start the second half. So this is big if they can keep them from scoring here and maybe get back within a 1-score deficit to start the second half.
Look, it's a West Chicago offense that's doing really well running the football. Now they're passing it a little bit. Kicking game struggling, though. Normally you'd want to kick the ball here, make it 25-7. They struggled on the PAT, and this is basically a PAT distance right here.
I'm interested to see if this is misdirection or if they're just going to go and try to power forward with one Robert Lee.
You could also do a pitch play if you want.
Naranjo, Doyle in motion. Looks like the fake. Naranjo looking to scamper inside and does. Untouched. Just a nice job of running off the fake Handoff. Naranjo gets into the end zone. It is a touchdown for West Chicago as they stretch the lead on the final play of the half to 28-7 with the extra point pending.
You know, we talk about backbreakers. That was one. Last play of the half, all you had to do was keep him out of the end zone, and you could. Not only could you not keep him out of the end zone, it wasn't a pitch play or something tricky. It was just a quarterback keeper.
Yeah, the bootleg there into the off tackle, able to score now on the two-point conversion. It is more power and bringing down Robert Lee impressively that time is Elmwood Park. And that was Harlan Stone on the stop. And that's not an easy job to do with just 2.5 yards between him and the end zone.
How about that, Marshall? After all that, it's 28-7. But the reason it's 28-7 is because of two missed PATs.
So the PATs
first half of play,
unable to convert on the first point attempt after the touchdown, and then the two-point conversion no good. 28-7, West Chicago with a halftime lead over Elmwood Park, who, yes, they are celebrating homecoming, but it's been nothing to write home about tonight for the Tigers.
Well, at least it's not 28-0, right? I hate to bring up silver linings. Look, when you're losing, you're losing. When you're losing by 21 points, nothing really feels good. But it's also a team that's 0-5 that's been blown out in a couple of games. It was 22-7. They had them at the 5-yard line. If they just keep them out of the end zone, they're only down 2 scores.
The Tigers had their opportunities. Penalties really hurt them on that last offensive drive, and that's how we ended up where we are right now with a 3-touchdown lead for the visitors from West Chicago.
We'll take a break, take a 5-minute break, then we'll get some stats analysis. It's 28-7 in favor of the Wildcats here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Hi, I'm Greg Schwarzy, your DuPage County Board Member in District 6, where I have lived, worked, and raised my family over the last 24 years. I'm running for re-election to continue the work I've already started on the DuPage County Board. Fighting for families, seniors, the environment, and equality for all. I've devoted my life to public service as a union firefighter and paramedic for over 28 years. I was a Carroll Stream Village trustee for 13 years and county board member since 2020. It's in these roles that I've seen firsthand the challenges our residents face on a daily basis, which I'm addressing in my work on the county board. As chair of the Human Services Committee, I helped implement a 24-hour 211 phone system for residents in need. I worked to secure millions of ARPA dollars to combat food insecurity, housing instability, and mental health and addiction issues. I increased funds and staffing for veterans assistance. As chair of the Emergency Telephone System Board, I procured new interoperable radios for every firefighter and police officer in DuPage County. On the HOPE Task Force, I secured funding for opioid education in middle schools and have been a strong supporter of Louis' Law. I've also successfully lobbied for a safety median on the Great Western Trail at County Farm Road to provide a safe haven for bicyclists and pedestrians. To learn more about my work on the county board, please visit my website at gregschwarzy.com. Please reach out anytime. I'm very blessed to be able to serve DuPage County.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter!
at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
A deal for me?
A deal for everyone!
17 East Van Buren Street, Joliet, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Sean Rugstad, Caldwell Banker Realty. I'm out of the Glenview, Illinois office. I left Caldwell Banker a time of transition, thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. I was gone for 2 years and I realized right away I had made a mistake. I love the culture of Caldwell Banker. It's built around the agents. That's something that I felt I was missing before. They promote success by everybody working together. Everybody can network. Everything about the company is the best.
Hi guys, welcome to Crumble.
Welcome to Crumble.
Would you like to try our limited time carrot cake?
Totally, yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Wedding cakes have multiple tiers, right? And usually the bride chooses the top tier, and so I actually chose carrot cake for mine. So I was like so excited to see this on the menu. Are you ready?
Sure.
Oh, you're very good.
That frosting.
There's the frosting.
It just brings it together.
I'm just gonna keep going.
You can get your vegetables on this way. You don't even taste the carrots.
For the kids, bring them here, get their veggies. This is actually way better than my wedding cake. Because I accidentally put raisins in mine, which is so gross. No raisins. Holla. Good job, Crumble. So this is only available through Saturday before Easter. Make sure you come in and get it while it's here.
Hi everyone, John Rogers here from Rogers Roofing. We are here with our 2023 Roof for a Hero contest winner, Robert Gutierrez. Robert is a Griffith police officer and has been serving the community for many, many years. Robert, congratulations. We're so happy that we were able to do this for you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you for the roof. It's very much appreciated. Family loves it. My name's Robert Gutierrez. I've been a Griffith police officer for 22 years, K-9 for just over 10, almost 11 years. And we are assigned to the patrol division, so we respond to any calls of service that was needed for the police department and the K-9.
Wow, that's really interesting. A K-9 unit, so you work with your probably best friend, your dog. Tell us a little bit about your dog.
Yes, he actually came from just west of Mexico City. He's 3 years old. His birthday is actually Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. He is assigned again to me in the patrol unit. So any calls of service that we have to go to, he goes. We go through narcotics detection, tracking for people, whatever that the patrol division needs, services and help, you're able to provide it.
That's terrific. Well, tell us what it was like when you got that phone call that we let you know that you were the winner of our 2023 Roof for a Hero contest.
Very, very ecstatic and happy. You never think that you win something this big, so when I got that call, very fortunate, very blessed, very happy that we were picked for the roof.
So when we came out to do the roof, was it a good experience? Did everything go as planned?
It was a fabulous experience. They had it all done in one day. They moved very quickly, efficiently. They cleaned up everything that they needed to clean up. We couldn't be more pleased and more happy. Even all the workers were very friendly, engaged in conversation. So our family couldn't be more happy with the process, and of course the roof, it looks beautiful.
Well, thank you for your service. Thank you for keeping this community safe. We're so happy we were able to do this for you. And we'd also like to thank our sponsors of our 2023 Roof for a Hero contest, American Roofing Supply, Certainteed Roofing Company, and Misprint out of Munster, Indiana. Thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. That's kind of it for our 2023 Roof for a Hero contest winner. We want to thank him again, and we look forward to seeing you in 2024 when we do it again.
These are all promises. Every piece in every box on every pallet. promises. They fill every square inch and ride on every mile. Over mountains, oceans, borders, rain, sleet, snow, beneath it all is our promise. Because we know that when we deliver on our promise, business moves forward. And you can keep your promise. Coyote Logistics. Drive your business forward.
This is the Halftime Show brought to you by GregSchwarze.com. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Marshall Harris. A big thank you to Greg for sponsoring today's broadcast, for his generous sponsorship of tonight's event. He's been a true champion for the people of DuPage County, always working to improve education, community services, and public programs that make a difference in our everyday lives. Let's give a round of applause for his ongoing dedication and services. Marshall, here are the stats brought to you by Stat Crew as we're updating them as we speak. When the score was 14-7 in favor of West Chicago, how about this? Robert Lee, 4 carries for 60 yards. Doyle, 3 for 34. And Carter Naranjo, 3 for 23. This was back when the score was 14-7. For Matthew Fritz, very efficient, 7-10, 69 yards, and the touchdown pass. But we talked about running the football. It's been a struggle for the Tigers. Just 9 of 16 for Jacob Solis. And on the quarterback keepers, just 3 rushes for 2 yards for Matthew Fritz.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They early in the game could not get that rushing attack going. There was no momentum. Then when we went to the air, they started to move the football. And you have to think here in the second half, adjustments will be, hey, instead of trying to run to set up the pass, we're going to pass to possibly set up the run. I think that's their best chance at getting back into the end zone and maybe getting this to a one-score game at any point. Of course, that would mean they stop West Chicago, which is something we were unable to do the entirety of the first half. But I think Elmwood Park has a chance here to get more points on the board because West Chicago has shown some cracks.
Yeah, we talked about that passing touchdown that was delivered by Fritz, and on the receiving end was Jairus Ponce, 3 receptions for 31 yards back when the score was 14-7. So when it was 14-7, the stats were pretty even on the receiving end. Elmwood Park was somewhat dominating on the rushing end. No surprise, that's West Chicago's bread and butter, running the ball in the triple option. When the score was 14-7, could have been anybody's game. West Chicago goes right down the field. Not only did they score, Marshall, they went for 2 and got it. Anytime an offense converts on a 2-point conversion early on in the game, that's got to be crushing to the defense.
The thing that really was the problem for Elmwood Park in this game is not that they got off to the bad start necessarily when they went down 14-0. It's that when they cut it to 21-7 and they gave up that 3rd touchdown to the Wildcats, they got the ball back, were able to move the ball, and looked like they were knocking on the door in the red zone. That big penalty that cost them on 3rd down and then again on 4th down put them in a situation where they had no choice but to go for it. When they didn't get that and there was too much time left on the clock and we didn't know if West Chicago would be able to march down the field with just over a minute to play. They were able to do that, and that was really the back-breaking blow in the first half of this game.
Well, big congratulations to Salata. He almost had that pick. He tried to one-hand it, and then he had a touchdown that was called back on a kick return. So Salata, got to watch out for him as Elmwood Park's going to get the ball back on the corresponding kickoff. Partner, it's probably 4-down territory. You got to get 6. The 3 points no longer help.
Oh, it's been 4-down territories that we've seen here in the first half, and we'll see if they can have more success in maybe staying out of the 3rd and the 4th and long. That will be key to them cutting this lead in half. Right now, 28-7 as kickoff. That's a quick punt and picked up and headed down the sideline. One man, the kicker to beat. It's a foot race to the end zone, trying to high-step it, and finally pulled down inside the 15-yard line there on the big return for Josh Jeters. And Josh Jeters gets the big return on the short pooch kick there. I was very surprised that they didn't try to kick it deep, or maybe that was just a bad kick.
Yeah, surprising, too. Remember, they got called for illegal procedure earlier in the game when they kicked it out of bounds. That kick, if he hadn't touched it, that also would have gone out of bounds. He did return at the 35, so it would have been the same field position if he hadn't returned it. Elmwood Park will have the ball at the 10-yard line.
And so now we've got a situation where Matthew Fritz is deep in the red zone. They've got it 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line, and here's a chance for them to make something happen here early. Man in motion out of the shotgun once again with Solis in the backfield. They will fake handoff, and he'll keep it himself with Fritz. He'll carry it all the way down to the 6-yard line, a pickup of 6.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle delivered by Thomas Murphy. Plays on both sides of the ball. Find a way to keep him out of the end zone. Even if you give up 6, you're still in the driver's seat, but you don't want to give any kind of hope for Elmwood Park if you can avoid it.
Officially, it's a pickup of 7 down to the 5-yard line. And once again, Fritz, Solis in the backfield. He's got trips to the left. This time they head off to Solis. Avoids one tackle, but finally brought down. Nothing, if anything, on that carry. But again, trying to balance it with some misdirection. They had the keeper on the 1st down, and then that time Solis still not much doing. You said 9 carries for 16 yards in the early going, and it's still not even a 2-yard per attempt gain for him.
Yeah, it's a rushing attack that has really struggled all day. The only kind of success they've had has been on jet sweeps, trying to get it to the edge. They try to go A-gap. It's been unsuccessful for them.
Here's Fritz again, out of the shotgun. Looks like a false start there. I don't know if that was on the center because I saw multiple movement.
You know what, Marshall? I think the quarterback moved before the center.
So it looked like he was expecting the snap, moved, and then when the snap finally did come, it was a false start on Fritz.
You very rarely see a false start called on the quarterback, but I think the center was ready to go and the quarterback started to move.
But again, these are big penalties on 3rd down situations that are really costing the Tigers. And now Fritz will be looking at a 3rd and 8 as they'll be back up to the 10-yard line. So Fritz now out of that shotgun again, empty backfield, dropping back, looking for a pass into the back of the end zone, and coming down with it for the catch is Josh Jeters. He starts the possession with a big kick return. He ends it with a touchdown. And Elmwood Park back into the end zone, a chance to make it a 28-14 ball game.
You know what? You might go for 2. We got an injury on the pylon here for West Chicago. You hate to see it. Double whammy against West Chicago. They give up the touchdown, and it's one of their cornerbacks that's hurt on the play.
It's Isaiah Sylvester who's down in the back of the end zone.
Nice play call. For some reason, of all the passes, the toughest passing play to execute, the fade route to the back of the end zone has been their bread and butter right now.
Well, I think Fritz likes it because he's comfortable putting it, knowing that if he puts it out there, the worst thing that can happen is it's an overthrow and out of bounds, and there's not a defensive back behind him there to come up with a pick. So once his man's out in front, it's just a matter of, can I put this where it needs to be?
You know, we all think of the movie Remember the Titans, where Sunshine Bass could throw it 60 yards, but he couldn't do the pitch.
Right.
It's kind of like that, right? The hard stuff's easy right now for Elmwood Park, but the easy stuff's a little bit hard for them.
Yeah, nothing going up front. Their offensive line has been tasked with trying to make holes up front. It's been a no-go against the West Chicago defensive front. But in the passing game is where they've seen some life. And you wonder if they could have just made something happen on that last drive. We could be talking about a completely different ball game here, because that means they don't turn the ball over on downs. They don't give up the touchdown to West Chicago, and they could be within a score here. Now Sylvester being walked off under his own power, so that's a good sign for him.
Yeah, you hate to see it. See what they want to do here. I assume they're going to kick the PAT. I'd be absolutely shocked if they did a fake. But you know what? 2 points. You're that much closer to tying the game, but I think they're just going to kick the PAT.
Adrian Stankovic lined up to take the point after. Snap, good. The hold, great. And that is easy does it. It looks like a good extra point, 28-14. The Tigers answer quickly in less than 2 minutes to start the third quarter. When we come back, we'll see if they can finally step up on defense. You're watching football on SBS, a network for everyone.
Getting in a bike crash is painful, and to add insult to injury, insurance companies don't want to compensate you fairly for all you've been through. The attorneys at Keating Law Offices are national leaders in bike accident cases with a history of success. We're available for free legal consultations with no obligation. There are never any attorney's fees unless we win your case. Contact us anytime. We are here to help.
Kickoff coming up. Kyle Smith alongside Marshall Harris.
Oh, Kyle, we have a ball game here, and we didn't know if Elmwood Park would be able to find enough offense to keep this thing competitive, but hey, down by 2 scores here. It's still very early in the third quarter. As I mentioned before, Kyle, this is going to come down to whether or not they can make something happen either in special teams or on defense with the turnover, because if it's standard operating procedure for West Chicago, it's going to be a problem. Now on this kickoff return, looking for room is Zalato. Brings it all the way out to the 44-yard line before he's finally brought down.
You know, Marshall, you always think people that return kicks, the cornerbacks, the running backs, those slippery guys that can return kicks. He's an outside linebacker.
And he's running with power. He looks a lot like one Robert Lee out there. When he has it, he's looking to maybe have a defender bounce off of him. He's not trying to be slippery necessarily, but he's just trying to power through, and he gets all the way back in the midfield area. And that's a problem if you're Elmwood Park, because they have been unable to stop what has been largely, except for one play, a rushing offense.
Yeah, A-gap, B-gap, C-gap, whatever you name, West Chicago's going right at him.
Carter Naranjo this time will give it up to Robert Lee. He will bounce to the outside. Nice spin move, but brought down after a pickup of about 4. Couple of defenders in on the play.
You ever seen the movie Little Giants where they all try to tackle spikes at the end?
That's Icebox in on that play? That's what I remember from Little Giants, is Icebox.
That's what it feels like tonight. It's going to be all 11 guys that gang together, pursuit, get Lee to the ground. It's not going to be one man, one tackle. Everybody get on that guy and push him back.
And even with a swarm there, it's still a pickup of 5 for Robert Lee as they're out to the 49-yard line. This time Robert Lee gets the ball, gets contact, but able to drag defenders down to the 40-yard line. It's been way too much power, but also no contact at the line of scrimmage. He's getting 2 or 3 yards before anyone's getting a finger on him.
Only one passing play for West Chicago. It was very successful. I'd put 9 in the box if I were Elmwood Park and just beg Naranjo to beat you on the play action.
So far, it hasn't mattered that it's been a 6-man defensive line stacked up against West Chicago, and now I believe a timeout's going to be taken by Elmwood Park.
Here's the problem with that, Marshall. I don't know if I want to call it a problem, but questionable. Timeouts are so necessary at the end of games. I know you don't want to be called for not enough men on the field, a penalty called against you, but at the same time, you never know if that last timeout you're going to need on a Hail Mary, on a hook and ladder. Now you only have 2 timeouts instead of 3.
I think Terrence Terry is thinking, my timeouts aren't going to matter if this game is a 3 or 4 touchdown deficit, because we've been giving up too much stuff.
Give your defense a rest. Get them some water. This might be the drive of the game. You make it 35-14. I don't think they can score 3 times.
If you can find a way to create a turnover, to get anything, I'd be telling my players, to punch at the ball at this point of the game, because that's where we are. We know what it's been like on the previous 4 West Chicago possessions. There's no reason to think this one will end any differently unless something drastic and or dramatic happens.
One man makes the tackle, the other guy's going in there to punch that ball out.
Carter Naranjo, he's got Robert Lee in the backfield. Fakes to him, he'll keep it himself. Now it's the pitch to Tommy Doyle. That's a first down before he's carried out of bounds. Looks like it was Dahoney on the tackle out of bounds, but it's another first down. They'll continue to move the chains with the Wildcats.
You know, I used to play rugby, and that's kind of a play in rugby where you can fake the pass and continue to run. That's something that Naranjo needs to think about. When it's 2-on-2 on the outside like that, try to fake the pitch, maybe get the linebacker to bite on it and keep running for the touchdown.
The threat in the backfield is Robert Lee. This time he will get it. He will go forward, and he is still dragging defenders down inside the 20. Down to the 19, just short of a first down. It's a pickup of 9.
Remember a couple years ago when Navy it was either Navy or Army that almost beat Michigan?
Yes.
This is why. You get ready for spread offense all year, and then all of a sudden West Chicago's running something completely different, and you only have 5 or 6 days to get ready for it.
And now it's a 2nd and 1 situation. They've only had 1 passing yard, but if you're ever going to pull out a passing play, 2nd and 1 inside the red zone, they're fully expecting the run here. We'll see, though, if Naranjo just continues to do what's been working, and he does exactly that. Yes, it's Robert Lee. He is pulled down. That time it was Ezekiel Quiones. He had him at the line of scrimmage with the initial contact, but he got pulled down for 4 yards of a gain there, and that's been the story of Robert Lee in this game.
They're making the tackle, but Lee has the last laugh. 4 or 5 yards. You got to find a way to get penetration. If that means putting 9 in the box, so be it. You got to find a way to push them back.
They've been quickly giving the ball to their running backs, whether it's Doyle, whether it's a keeper for Naranjo. Again, this time fakes the handoff to the outside. He's got the pitch if he wants it, but he powers his way into the end zone, running over a defender to get there. It's a touchdown for West Chicago. They have stretched the lead back out to 3 touchdowns in this contest. What a move there on the finish. Watch Naranjo as he just powers over the would-be tackler. Trying to see who that was.
Watch it one more time. It was a heck of a play, that's for sure.
I believe that was Dahoney.
So you watch it one more time. Snap out to the outside. It was Dahoney.
And Dahoney came to get the angle, but he just didn't have the momentum. He tried to stop. That's no way to go at a guy like Naranjo who's coming full steam on the outside. Another touchdown run.
Might be the dagger. I don't know if Elmwood Park has enough personnel
as they go for 2. This time it's the pitch. It's outside, and that is Thomas Murphy punching it in for the 2-point conversion. Now a 36-14 lead for West Chicago as they get the job done, answering the touchdown out of halftime by the Tigers. It's 36-14 West Chicago with the lead. You're watching football on SBS, a network for everyone.
Kyle Smith alongside Marshall Harris, 36-14. Got to score quickly if you're Elmwood Park, and once you score a touchdown, first you got to score a touchdown. After you score, onside kick coming up if they do so.
The scoring part is not the hard part. It's the onside kick and or actually stopping West Chicago. At this point, you have a better shot of getting an onside kick based on the evidence we've seen tonight than actually stopping the rushing attack of the Wildcats.
You got to consider some substitutions as here's the kickoff deflected away. Here comes Elmwood.
That's picked up now with some room to run. Tried to beat one man, and Dahoney tried to turn the corner, but a nice job there.
Shout out to Madison Bernallo from
by Andrei Kryluk.
Keep on shining.
The Serbian kicker able to get the stop, and you don't see that every day.
Yeah, both teams struggling on defense against kick returns. Even when it's a little pooch kick or a squib, it's going out to the outside, and if you beat your man to the outside, it's the kicker to beat.
Yeah, Kryluk did a great job there because he was literally all that was standing in the way between Donahoe and a touchdown for Elmwood Park. Now back in the shotgun again, it's Fritz. Little motion and getting the handoff is Solis, able to turn the corner after the missed tackle by Rivera in the backfield, who had him for about a 4-yard loss, but Solis able to run through it and instead pick up about 6 yards on that play to make it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, 2nd and 4 coming up for Elmwood Park, and the clock is somewhat of an issue because you're down 3 scores. You have to consider no huddle soon, because if it takes you too long to score, then you're forced to do an onside kick to get the ball back.
If Matthew Fritz and company can get to the end zone, you would think an onside kick would be coming here as we approach the halfway point here in the 3rd quarter. Here he is again, staying with Solis, and this time keeping himself. He'll spin inside, get across the 50. It's a 1st down and more. A big pickup of about 6 yards for Matthew Fritz.
Other problem for Elmwood Park, the field goal does you no good. So if they get 1st downs, the more plays you have to run at the high school level, Marshall, the better the chances you're going to fumble the ball, you're going to throw a pick. What West Chicago wants, if they're going to give up a touchdown, force Elmwood Park to do 15 or more plays on offense.
I like the variety of plays here to start this particular drive, because now you're setting up the possibility of play action by proving that you can run the football for positive yardage. Fritz again in the shotgun. He's got a couple of backs with him. Man in motion. He will hand it off to Donahoe, who turns the left corner, gets to the outside, inside the 40, before finally being brought down. That's Trevor Swinney on the tackle, but not before another 1st down on a nice jet sweep there by Dahoney, and again setting up the pass here with every successful run play.
We love you.
Yeah, nice play call. You get the 1st down. It only costs you 1 play to get that first. We talked about scoring quickly, trying to get 1st downs before you have to run 3 plays to get one.
Go David, we love you.
Still north of 5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Fritz talking things over with the staff on the sideline. Going from one side to another is Joshua Jeters. He's got trips right now with Solis in the backfield with him out of the shotgun. He'll call for it. Give it to Solis. No, he'll keep it himself. He's trying to get to the edge, turning the corner, and then scampering out of bounds at about the 30-yard line as he was forced back in by Roman Zalato.
Remember, it's the 3rd quarter, not the 4th, so the clock continues to run even though he ran out of bounds. I'm sure Fritz knew that, but if he doesn't, make sure the coaching staff tells him, you go out of bounds, clock still runs because it's the 3rd quarter.
So time being whisked off the clock as we're under 5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Quick substitution here. Personnel change for the Tigers. Yeah. Fritz and company taking their time here between plays. We'll see if some tempo comes. This time trips to the left. Again, Solis in the backfield. Let's see what they dial up here on 2nd down and 5. They're at the 29-yard line. He gets a snap. He'll roll to the left and keep it himself, looking for a place to go. Being chased down, and it'll be a loss, I believe, as he was forced out of bounds that time by Tommy Doyle.
Don't like that play call. Slow developing play. The offensive line has not really helped you all night, and you waste clock too.
Yeah, we're going to go under 4 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter on that play, and it was all vertical. You would think, but instead a horizontal play and actually going backwards, losing 5 yards on the play. So now we're in a 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 10, backed up to the 34-yard line. Let's see what Fritz and company have cooking.
Get creative here. I don't think they're expecting a run. Maybe you go A-gap, try it one more time.
We know it's 4-down territory here for the Tigers. Instead, off the play action and finding a wide open receiver, but through the hands of Jairus Ponce, who's been so sure-handed in this contest until that mark. He was wide open on the sideline. Nice scheme to get him open, but unable to hold on to it right through his hands.
Yeah, you watch it on replay here. Clean pocket for Fritz. Play action, throws it. It's hard to see who to blame. It is behind him a little bit. I don't know what the route was. If it was a comeback route, that's on the quarterback. If it's an out route, it's pretty close to the sideline. That's on Pones, but if it's a comeback route, then that's on the quarterback Fritz for not getting it on time.
Looked like Ponce was just trying to find an area where there were no defenders and sit down there, but that pass was a little bit high, a difficult catch, but it would have been beauty if you could have made. Now we're looking at 4th down and 10 to go from the 29. Back to pass again. It's Fritz over the middle this time, and closely checked. His intended target was Dohoney, and Dohoney was checked nicely that time by Thomas Murphy, so nothing doing. It's a turnover on downs with 3:27 to play here in the third quarter, and this is where West Chicago can turn up the heat if they would like to.
Yeah, you don't have to use Lee if you don't want to. They've been very successful pitching it out to Doyle. Murphy's been pretty good as well. If you want to use Lee, you obviously can, but everybody has been able to run the ball tonight, including their quarterback in Naranjo. Elmwood Park, a lot of bad things happening to them right now in the third quarter.
You said they don't have to use Lee, but he seems to be the guy you would want to bring in to put the hammer down on this game. He gets the handoff and immediately is through the middle, and it's a quick pickup of about 10 yards. It will move the chains. So, yes, I think it's going to be Lee, more Lee until they feel like changing things up with a little misdirection.
And now that everything's working for West Chicago, now you can run the plays you haven't run as much all year, or the stuff that you didn't run as much in training camp. You have a 3-possession lead. You can run some plays that you don't feel as confident in because you might need to use those plays in the postseason.
Yeah, it's almost kind of show and tell. Do you want to put some things on film for other teams to have to think about, or do you want to save it for a rainy day? Today has not been a rainy day at all for the Wildcats. Another handoff to Lee, this time brought down quickly by Trinidad Lopez. Also in on the tackle was Ezekiel Quiones, as kind of minimized that gain, at least what we've seen from Lee in this game, to hold him to just 4 yards, it looks like, on the carry, maybe 3. It's going to be 2nd and 7 from the 48.
Got another report by our reporter, Hayden Bales. Hayden, it's all West Chicago thus far.
Hayden, what do you have for us?
You know, standing down on the sideline over there, I noticed that Naranjo is just really composed and taking his time getting the call from the coach. And I'm really impressed with his ball handling and decision-making skills in this option offense. And you know what? So are his teammates. After that nice truck stick by him to get into the end zone, not only a good reaction, but then the photographer was able to get it on camera, and the whole team gathered around to watch it one more time. So good little moment there from the team.
So a lot of celebrating going on, even mid-game before this game is over. You talked about doing some different things. There we see Thomas Murphy with the carry for another first down. Down inside to the 41-yard line.
Fun to watch for West Chicago, a team that hadn't gone to the postseason for 20 years, and now they're driving right down the field to put this one away.
Another handoff, another carry. This time going forward, it's back to Robert Lee. Another first down. And tell me if you've heard that one before. Clock continues to run.
I can't wait to see the post-game stats, how many first downs that West Chicago had tonight, because it's triple option offense. You don't have big chunk plays in the passing game, so the only big chunk plays you get are on the running game. If you don't get the big chunk plays, it's 3 yards and a lot of rubber pellets.
Yeah, it's been a cloud of dust. It's been rubber pellets kicked up on the field turf. As we approach the 1 minute mark to play, It's Lee once again. Looks like this is going to be a false start going against
off the right guard.
Offense.
He's had a really good game otherwise. Can't have a perfect game, right? As Nick Saban would say, there's always things to work on.
Well, there's going to have to be things for Adam Chavez to talk about when he gets his team on Monday when they look at the film of this one. I think the penalties will be something both these teams will be talking about.
I love how Adam Chavez does his depth chart, by the way. Instead of calling him right guard and left guard, he calls him split guard and tight guard. It's like watching old Leatherneck football.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Naranjo back under center. Giving it to who else? Robert Lee. This time he'll spin off the edge. It's a pickup of about 2 yards. Make that 5 yards.
Shout out to Beanie. We are so proud of you. Keep up the great
That'll
work.
make it 2nd down and 10. So even though they were behind the chains, already back to even, it's a 2nd and 10 situation as the time continues to run off the clock. Under 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter. It's a 36-14 West Chicago lead over Elmwood Park, who has not had an opportunity to really celebrate homecoming tonight. They've been down early and often, and here's Naranjo finally brought down at the line of scrimmage, creating a rare 3rd and long for West Chicago.
Yeah, that's going to do it for the quarter, as we'll stick with the action here. Special thanks to DuPage County Board member Greg Schwarzy for sponsoring tonight's game. Greg is dedicated to creating a thriving community by supporting important local initiatives, including sports programs like this one. His efforts make it possible for students to grow through teamwork, discipline, and athletic excellence. Check out his website at gregschwarzy.com, listed on the score banner.
36-14 as we begin the third quarter. This might not be the game you had pictured when you're talking about a 3-2 West Chicago team going up against a winless Elmwood Park team, but Elmwood Park has been able to get in the end zone a couple of times. Some positive developments for their offense.
Yeah, but at the same time, nobody wants to go 0-9 in a season. This game should be a lot better than 36-14. It was first and goal at the 5, but only 5 seconds left at the end of the first half. You got to find a way to keep Naranjo out of the end zone. It was a running play. It wasn't a passing play at the last play of the first half. You want to win football games, that's a 6-point difference.
A lot of the holes that have been created by this offensive line have been gaping, to say the least, and that was one of them. The Naranjo touchdown just before halftime was kind of the back-breaking moment, the play of the game, I'd have to say, because anything can happen when you get the ball back to start the second half. And we saw Elmwood Park score to cut it to a 2-touchdown lead, but if that doesn't happen, as Naranjo goes back to the air, he's got a wide open man in the end zone, but punched out at the last second. Great defense there.
Yeah, he was trying to get it to his wide receiver, and Tommy Doyle had a big play earlier in the game. That's only their second pass attempt of the game.
Timothy Chillis able to punch it out at the last second. It looked like a short touchdown, but just a little too much air under, and Chillis able to get in there and punch the ball out of the hands of Tommy Doyle.
It's interesting. Our videographer and Kevin Macy, when he was filming it, it looked like it was the wrong read. Murphy was actually wide open. Instead, Naranjo threw it in double coverage into the end zone.
And now it'll probably be back to Robert Lee if I had to guess. It's 4th down, but no, it's Naranjo keeping it himself, looking to create, and they're going to get a turnover on downs here, although there is a flag in the secondary. Let's see what that is.
Flag on the play.
I don't think they got the inside of the jersey for the horse collar, but we'll see what the ref says.
Waiting to see what the call is as the officials talk it over. This is going to go against the defense.
It should, because usually when they call a flag late like that, when the quarterback's getting hit, it's usually a face mask or a horse collar. Face mask called against the defense.
So I see the marker being made. It's going to be 4th down again. It's a 5-yard penalty.
So they still have the old face mask rule at the high school level. In the NFL, it's automatic 15. In high school, it's 5 or 15.
So they call the 5 here. And now back to that running game, you would think here on 4th down. Looking to pitch it, giving it to Doyle. He cuts back to the inside. He's got the first down and more inside. Finally pulled down at the 14-yard line. Another big pickup for West Chicago on a 4th down that Elmwood Park had to stand up for, and they couldn't get it done. That penalty, just a killer on the face mask.
Yeah, the penalty wasn't good, but the other thing that's so hard about this triple offense is when you're stagnant and your feet aren't continuously running. We saw Naranjo that went right past Tahoney. When you're at a standstill trying to tackle these ball carriers, it's almost impossible to do.
This time he's got a man in motion, gives it to Lee. He's got daylight up the corner. He's not going to be stopped. Another touchdown for West Chicago. Robert Lee punches it in from 14 yards out to make it a 42-14 ball game. And just like that, West Chicago strikes again.
As the famous play-by-play announcer said from the video game NHL 2004, it's all over but the crying. It's time to go home if you're an Elmwood Park fan. That about does it.
Still a chance to get some more offense going, but yes, the outcome no longer in doubt after they stretch the lead to a 4-touchdown lead, and now looks like they'll go for 2 yet again.
You know, I'm surprised by that, Marshall. You'd like to get some confidence in your kicking game for next week, but they're going to go for 2.
Here, it's the pitch out and finding daylight and getting into the end zone on that play, West Chicago.
Yeah, we'll watch a replay in a second, but yeah, the other thing is too many arm tackles not finishing open field tackles. Can't win football games when you're arm tackling, when you're standing at a standstill and not making tackles in the open field. Watch it on replay here. So they run one in motion, pitch play. Tahoney got off the block. He just couldn't make the play.
So there we have a 2-point conversion. Good as they have abandoned their kicking game, have the Wildcats. And it's a 44-14 contest. Up by 30 now are the Wildcats. We'll see if the Tigers can answer, perhaps build a little offensive momentum heading into next week because the Tigers have more games to play and they're still looking for win number 1.
It's not who you play, it's when you play them. And this is a West Chicago team that got dominated last week by South Elgin. You don't want to be 3-3 because you need 5 wins to get in. 4-2 is so much better than 3-3. It was going to take a huge effort from all 11 guys on offense, all 11 guys on defense from Elmwood Park. They played a good game, but West Chicago played a great/fantastic game.
It's been a 3-headed monster attack in that rushing game. We talked about Thomas Doyle. We also, Tommy Doyle. We talked about Carter Naranjo. And, of course, Robert Lee anchoring everything, showing you why they have 2 of the top 20 rushers in the state. Another push pick. That one batted down and covered up, getting a hand on it for Elmwood Park was Jairus Ponce, and then it was recovered by one of his teammates. So another decent starting field position for the Tigers as they'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
You know, I'm going to look at the stats in a second because they're updating them as we speak, but you can't win football games when you can't stop the run. And West Chicago, that's all they do is run. At the same time, like we talked about, we're going to talk about one more time, when every team that you play runs spread and then you see this triple option, you only have 5 days to see it, so difficult.
Yeah, just the attack and the counterattack, the misdirection we talked about. As Fritz back in the shotgun, he's looking to throw it, get it off, unable to get it just a little bit short of his intended target. And I think down with an injury there.
Yeah.
Is that Elise?
Yeah, Harlan Stone is 25. He was inserted the game in the 3rd quarter, and you hate to see it. I hope it's not a severe knee injury. He went down awkwardly on it.
Looks like they're stretching him out.
So you watch it one more time. Hold on. Oh, I just had it. So you watch it one more time. Harlan Stone. It is behind him. That's the one problem when a quarterback throws it behind you. Your knees are going one way, then they got to change direction quickly. And unfortunately, knee injuries, they happen all the time. I always think of Teddy Bridgewater, non-contact LCL.
But I think this is a cramp because he's getting stretched out, and they came out and brought the Gatorade to him.
He's putting pressure on the knee, which is good. And he's able to limp off. He is bending it. That's also a good sign. But we've seen players play on MCL injuries. I think of that AFC Championship game where Phillip Rivers played on a sprained MCL in the AFC Championship game.
A little harder when you're a skill position player, when you're trying to cut, move.
A little bit easier when you're a quarterback on an MCL versus a wide receiver.
You're just going back and you're seeing if you can get rid of the ball quickly.
Right, yeah.
So again, 10:50 and counting here in the 4th quarter. It's a 44-14 lead for West Chicago over Elmwood Park. Tigers trying to get another touchdown here out of the trips right. Rolling to his right is Fritz. He'll connect with Tahoney. That's a pickup of about 8.
Danny Tahoney.
They'll call it 10 and give it the first down. Good spot there. Looked like Tahoney was short of the 45-yard line, but they're going to give it to him.
Offense isn't the issue. Defense has been the issue tonight. They didn't score enough points, but a couple more stops. This could be a 21 or 28-14 game instead of 44-14.
And the best defense against an offense like West Chicago, when things have gone as they've gone, is just to get your offense on the field doing damage. And here we have Solis falling forward. That's a pickup of 5.
Want to give a big thank you to our crew tonight, and Kevin Macy, Sam Corbett, Andrew Yachim, everybody else that's worked tonight. We have some good fall weather this year.
Oh, it's been great. It's been great weather actually since springtime. If you really think about it, the heat got bad for like 2 days out of an entire summer. It's been raining like at night and on the weekends. It's been good sledding here for Chicago weather.
I'll take it over the polar vortex that we had in 2019. Man, that was awful.
That's a long time ago, though. It's been mild winters for quite some time.
A little bit, yeah.
Here's Fritz again, looking to Solis, who was out of sync with what he was trying to do. He was looking for something in the flat, but Solis was turning upfield.
Yeah, you got to make sure that your wide receiver and your quarterback's on the same page.
Solis running the wheel route there when he thought he was going to be open out there, and he would have been open if he had been in the flat. Instead, it's going to be a third down and about 4 to go from the 49-yard line as they've just crossed midfield, have the Tigers.
Well, if you're down 30, you're not going to win this football game. If you want to do some audibles, change it up, see if you can get something downfield to score quickly, get some confidence going into your Week 7 game.
Here's Fritz, getting his receiver set on the right side. Back to that trips right. He'll look to the right now, looking to go vertical up the sideline and out of bounds. That wasn't going to be catchable for Joshua Jeters.
Yeah,
so now that creates a 4th and 4 situation.
You got to do a better job if you're Jeters. You got to force your way to the inside. When you let the cornerback play you instead of you playing the quarterback, he's going to force you to the outside 10 times out of 10. You got to find a way to trick him one step with the right foot, then you go with the left to try to beat him on the inside.
Yeah, the leverage certainly was not there that needed to happen for Fritz to be able to find him down the sideline on that particular play. And now the clock's starting to stop more with these incomplete passes. And all I'm thinking about is West Chicago getting the ball back and having a chance to do more damage.
I think the Ronho's day is over, but I wouldn't be shocked if he came back in for one more possession. Robert Lee's day is probably done.
And here now, Solis will be out split to the right side in the slot, now in motion. Maybe the jet sweep. Instead, it's going to be a blocker for the reason looking to get rid of it. Nowhere to run was Fritz, and that will be a turnover on downs. The plan was for him to carry it to the edge, but the white jerseys were there. There was nowhere for him to go.
A little bit surprised by Elmwood Park's offense when your quarterback scrambles to the left. So there was a wide receiver on the right. When the linebackers cheat up to get the sack, go downfield because they've cheated up. He had one-on-one at the sideline, and if he does that, the quarterback's going to feed you the ball. But you got to find yourself open before the quarterback will throw you open.
And now we'll see, after a disappointing drive for Elmwood Park, if they can slow down West Chicago. Again, the incomplete passes mean the clock stopped repeatedly, and there's plenty of time left. And here's Robert Lee spinning to the inside, carrying defenders downfield. Almost a pickup of a first down. Instead, they'll call it an 8-yard gain for Robert Lee as he counts in 7s and 8s and 12s.
I'm looking at the stats as we're updating right now. Robert Lee, fantastic. 13 of 129, 6 for 102 for Tommy Doyle. Have yourself a game, young man.
Doesn't it seem like Robert Lee's got more than just 13 carries? Because every time he gets it, he's carrying it somewhere. That's
well, they're
the
updating as we speak, but 7 for 57 for Naranjo.
And here's the handoff up the middle and in for the first down. Pick up about 5 for Robert Lee.
Yeah, and here's the problem, Marshall. When you're being outgained 288 to 72, your defense is just dead tired because West Chicago is running 10, 12 plays, and they're all running plays.
As you mentioned, Naranjo, his day is done. Lucas Wheat now in the backup quarterback, orchestrating things. Robert Lee, though, he is still out there, still in the backfield, still toting the rock.
He had 293 rushing yards earlier this season.
Another carry for Robert Lee as he drags a couple of more defenders inside the 30-yard line. It's another first down. Pickup of 10.
It's tough, Marshall, and you're going to tell us who the homecoming court is in a minute here, but you know, you never want to lose homecoming weekend. You don't want to lose by 30. It's a tough West Chicago team. You see the good things from Elmwood Park, but they take one step forward, 2 steps back. Who is the homecoming court, by the way?
On homecoming court, we've got freshmen Ava Iosurdo and Michael Murphy. Sophomores Damian and Sophia Casella as another handoff to guess who. This time not getting as much. Pick up about 3 yards for Robert Lee. Back to that homecoming court, though. Junior Nikolajah Bulatovic and Matthew Fritz doing double duty the junior quarterback, also on the homecoming court, and seniors, Jacqueline Streichurch and Harlan Stone, also doing double duty as number 25.
Well, you know,
in the black.
He hurt his knee a little bit, but it doesn't hurt so much when you're on the homecoming court.
So that's your homecoming court for Elmwood Park. They don't have the victory to go along with it. Another handoff, bouncing to the outside, looking to go and be dragged down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Robert Lee once again, and just watching him when he gets to the open field, it's now going to take more than one defender to drag him down once he's getting to full speed. Looking Derrick Henry-esque out there.
He does. He's got the speed. He's not that quick, but he's got that agility right off the handoff. You think about arm tackles, I think we saw it on that possession, that play. Here we go again. Rinse, lather, repeat in the red zone is the Wildcats.
Once again, Lucas Sweet under center. Lost it, picked it up, still able to go forward for a couple inside the 5-yard line down to the 4. It's a pickup of 3 for Lucas Sweet, who lost it temporarily, but was able to recover it and not just fall on it, but actually fall forward for 3 yards.
If you're just joining us, we had a game. It was 22-7 late in the first half. With 5 seconds left on the clock, with the ball at the 5-yard line, West Chicago opted not to kick. They went for it. Naranjo scored, and it's been all Wildcats ever since.
And now Robert Lee trying to put the exclamation point on this 30-point lead. He'll get it, he'll carry it, he'll walk into the end zone. Another touchdown for Robert Lee and West Chicago. They put up a 50 spot here on Elmwood Park's homecoming. It's now 50-14.
Put up a 50 burger on them. Can't win many games when you give up 50 points. And I think they figured out the offense. Now they got to figure out the defense.
Yeah, a lot of teams will be figuring out this West Chicago offense because, as you said, if you can't stop the run, they're not even thinking about pass.
Unless they have to.
Unless they have to. And rarely do they have to, as they are comfortable running on any down and distance situation. And now on the 2-point conversion, Easy does it. A quick
touchdown
keeper for Lucas Sweet. So now 52-14. That lead now stretched out to 38 points.
We're going to take a break as we run another Greg Schwarzy commercial. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Kyle Smith alongside Marshall Harris. Marshall, Mama said there'd be days like this, Mama said, and that's what's happened today.
There'd be days like this, Mama said, Mama said, Mama said. I don't know that anybody wants to go through a day like this, but hey, this is life. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you squeak one out, sometimes you get blown out. Tonight, a blowout for Elmwood Park as West Chicago's been in control. Picking it up on the squib kick. And coming back the other way, Ponce knocked out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. We've got a running clock situation now as it's under 4 minutes to play here for homecoming at Elmwood Park.
Happens to everybody. Dan Marino's last game, they lost 62-7. Believe it or not, the Bears once won an NFL championship game 73-0.
I believe it because back before the Super Bowl era, things were different and there were a lot of lopsided everythings. This one has been lopsided, not throughout, but since the last 5 seconds of the first half, as you mentioned, when Naranjo was able to put things away, so to speak, in the final moments of the second quarter. It was down to a 2-touchdown game, and now we have Solis to the outside picking up a first down a little bit more. He gets to the 45-yard line. Clock continues to run.
Number 28, Jacob
as we approach the 3-minute mark in this one, and maybe Elmwood Park can get one more touchdown to make it a little bit better on paper. Down by 38 here, 52-14 to play.
Well, you don't have fantasy football at the high school level, but if you did,
I would want Robert Lee on my fantasy team.
You got to put up your numbers, right, if you got Fritz on your fantasy team.
Let's see if Fritz goes back to the air here. He's had a pretty good day here as he's avoided the turnovers. And now he'll hand it off to Solis, bounces to the outside against a lot of substitutions here
7-yard gain, number 28.
on the defense for West Chicago. So another chunk of a pickup, about 7 yards on that play. 2nd and 3 coming for the Tigers.
Hayden Bales with our last report of the night. Hayden, it's 52-14. If you're a West Chicago fan, you're having a heck of a night. If you're an Elmwood Park fan, not so much.
In fact, I caught up with the Elmwood Park athletic director again. He just wanted to say again that he's proud of the guys, proud of the fight. That he felt that if they got a stop at the end of the half there, this might have been a different ball game, and just reiterated that this is kind of a big year for turnover for them. So I am impressed with this crowd. They stayed for this whole game. They're even shouting at the coaches on the way down the stands that they believe in them. Like you said, they can feel something is here, just not quite yet, just not quite tonight. Thanks.
So Hayden Bales keeping us up to date on what's going on the sideline. It has been a valiant effort by Elmwood Park. We just saw Matthew Fritz with a nice 18-yard scamper to set up 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line as we approach the 1-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. Fritz calling for it out of the shotgun. He'll hand it off. No, that's a play action that got me and into the back of the end zone, just overthrown, intended for Joshua Jeters. Unable to land on that. But one of the few misses into the end zone that we've seen out of Fritz.
Yeah, it's the little things, Marshall. Once again, he's letting the cornerback play him. He's forcing him out of bounds. And it's just no chance to catch the football when you're right at the sideline before the ball's even thrown to you.
Tigers, though, going for everything here with time winding down, under a minute to play here in the 4th quarter. This time, Fritz will keep it himself around the left side. One man to beat, can't stay in bounds, knocked out of bounds at the 10-yard line. And the clock will continue to run.
Yeah,
we'll see if they can get another playoff.
And this will be probably the last play of the game for the Tigers.
See what the play call is. Under 30 seconds to play now. 52-14, the Wildcats. An impressive win that will move them to 4-2 on the season. Fritz out of the gun, rolling right, going back to the end zone. That is well overthrown. And now with just 13 seconds and counting, that might do it here as the final seconds tick off the clock. A 52-14 win with the Wildcats of West Chicago running homecoming for Elmwood Park. The final horn has sounded, a 38-point victory to move West Chicago as Adam Chevez's team moves to 4-2 on the season. Elmwood Park falling to 0-6 on the night.
Yeah, it's a West Chicago team. They got dominated earlier in the year to Glenbard East, Glenbard South, sorry. They gave up 144 yards and they lost that game 63-8. Completely different West Chicago team tonight. From the opening kick, it was all Naranjo, it was all Lee. They took it to him, and for Elmwood Park, the fact that the backup quarterback scored on you to score the last touchdown of the game, I'd be a little bit embarrassed about that, and fuel the fire for your next game. I don't think this is an 0-9 team, but they got to pick up the intensity a little bit to get that 1st or 2nd win of the season.
You can call it an adrenaline rush if you want, or you can just call it what it was, a bum rush. That's what happened tonight to Elmwood Park. Homecoming ruined for them by the Wildcats of West Chicago, who have to be feeling pretty good about how their season is going so far.
It's never easy to come on the road. It's a long drive, by the way, from West Chicago to Elmwood Park. No easy way to get here. They took it to the Tigers, a team that wanted their first win of the season. Nobody likes getting embarrassed homecoming weekend. If you want to get your first win of the year, this is the time to do it. This and senior night. They couldn't do it tonight. Maybe they'll do it on senior night for West Chicago. One more win away from the postseason, but they're not thinking about that, Marshall. They're thinking about possibly going 7-2 to get a high seed for the postseason. But next week, as PJ Fleck says, we're trying to go 1-0 every week.
One at a time, right? That's what the coaches tell you to take it, one game at a time. They can put this one in the rearview mirror. They'll have a couple of days to celebrate before they look at the tape, try to make some corrections and get ready for their next opponent. But all in all, an impressive showing by West Chicago, specifically for Robert Lee out of that backfield. And of course, Naranjo, he was spectacular. Didn't need to throw it much, but when he did put it, he put it on the money for a big gain. And just all in all, showing you what this Wildcat team is capable of when they are able to dictate the type of game they want to play.
So let's give you the 3 stars of the game. That's brought to you by GregSchwarzy.com. 3rd star, Tommy Doyle. 2nd star for me, Robert Lee. And that 1st star of the game, the bull rush running over Donahue. I got to go with Naranjo. Do you agree with me, or would you rather have Lee number 1?
I think Lee number 1 because I think everything they do offensively is based on him. I'd put Naranjo at number 2, and then I would keep Doyle at number 3 because he was impressive in limited touches tonight.
Yeah, at one point he had 6 touches for 102 yards, and let's not forget about that 35-yard reception they had down the sideline. For Elmwood Park, 14 points. That's okay offensively. You'd like 21 or 28. Defensively, that's what they got to work on. Look at the game film, and hopefully they can work on it and get a little bit better with the tackling. No more arm tackles.
They'll be welcoming the spread offense the next time they hit the field, I can tell you that.
All right, so for our excellent crew, that does it for our play-by-play broadcast. Sam Corbett has the post-game show down at field level with either Carter Naranjo or Robert Lee of the West Chicago Wildcats. But that does it for our broadcast. So for Marshall Harris, for Andrew Yachim, Kevin Macy, Sam Corbett, Hayden Bales, and everybody else that worked for us tonight, so long. Post-game show brought to you by GregSchwarzy.com. Coming up next.
Behold the DQ freezer, holding all the Blizzard flavors of the past.
The DQ freezer is closed.
It's actually opening.
We're opening the DQ freezer and bringing back frosted animal cookie and brownie batter. Hurry, before they're gone.
To the city that invented the skyscraper, reversed the flow of a river, created its own style of pizza, gave a home to legends, and stole our hearts. Chicago, we love you. From the iconic attractions to the majestic lakefront, the distinctive neighborhoods and thriving culture, the second city is second to none, but that's not all that made us fall for you. What we love most about you, Chicago, is your people, friendly, welcoming, and undeniably passionate about our hometown. App Properties was born and raised in Chicago, and Chicago has supported us for the past 23 years. There's no place we'd rather call home. Love, App Properties, Christie's International Real Estate.
Interest rates on Facebook. Maybe I can refinance my butter hot tub.
Yes on the butter, no on the link, Karen. Social media scams rob Americans every year. You're giving away your money to a hacker in a hoodie.
That's a negative stereotype, and we don't appreciate it. I'd like to speak to their manager.
You're actually the manager of protecting your identity. Learn more at banksneveraskthat.com.
Okay. Gary, we need more baguettes.
Do you love pizza? So do we. At Doreen's Pizzeria, we also love our customers. That's why we're bringing you our loyalty rewards program and online ordering system. Click the link to start your order now. Doreen's Pizzeria, real Chicago pizza.
We're known as Levin Tire, but we're so much more than just a tire dealer. At Levin Tire and Service Center, we do oil changes, brakes, alignments, engine and electrical work, and much more. And of course, we're the best choice for tires, with a wide variety from the industry's most trusted manufacturers. Plus, you'll get customer service like a small business with pricing better than a national chain. Visit one of our 6 locations today. We're more than just tires. Levin Tire and Service Center, since 1918, earning your trust one day at a time.
A deal for me? A deal for everyone!
17 East Van Buren Street, Joliet, Illinois.
Stop what you're doing. If your SBS broadcast looks blurry on your laptop or desktop, do the following steps. Number 1, click on the wheel icon at the bottom right of your screen. Then click on Quality. Click on the highest quality that's available for you. And number 3, wait for your laptop to load and enjoy the broadcast. If your broadcast looks blurry on your phone or tablet, do the following steps. Number 1, click on the wheel icon located at the top right of your screen. Number 2, click on Advanced. And number 3, click on the highest quality available. If you're still having issues, type in the live chat. Thanks, and enjoy the game.
Broadcast Solutions with Robert Lee. Sam Corbett here with the post-game show, brought to you by Sports Broadcast Solutions with Robert Lee, senior running back out of West Chicago. A dominant performance, Robert, tonight. 23 carries for over 200 yards and 3 scores. Can I just get your testimony about what you were seeing on the field tonight?
Thank you. Well, I saw a lot of holes. The O-line was doing great this night. They were leaving wide open holes. I was going very quick. Hey, they did very good today. Yeah,
I'd like to let you catch your breath for a second there. I know you've done a ton of work. With your team running a lot of triple option, what's it like when, a lot of teams in IHSA are focused on the passing game, spread out, and then you guys just come in and run the ball right down the middle? What's it like when you just feel like you can bully the opponent sometimes?
Well, it makes me feel very, very good because it makes things difficult since everybody thinks that we're going to run, but it feels very good when we prove them wrong.
Now, obviously, 20-year playoff drought for this West Chicago program before making it back last year. Your guys, after the victory tonight, now 4 wins, needing that 5th win to clinch a playoff spot. What's going to be the preparation like for next week to make sure that you guys can clinch early on in the season?
Well, we're going to be practicing hard. We're going to be working on everything. We're going to make sure that we have everything tight so we can have that win next week.
What was the message at halftime today, especially after Elmwood Park started to chip in a little bit to the deficit?
They said we were winning, but we made it 0-0. It wasn't a win for us. This was a learning experience.
All right, well, Robert, catch your breath, man. Congratulations on the game tonight. West Chicago, dominant victory here against Elmwood Park.